feel like that one person in the fan group just like, we're in your hometown, where's the nice thing to see? Yeah, just zeroing in one person, just like, I live here too, guys.
No,
yes,
we're
but
not
are
allowed
you?
to...
Hold on. Are you the rich one who lives here?
Are you the master of ceremonies?
Are you the brewmaster of ceremonies?
I mean, I just got paid, so I mean.
But were you rich before? Did your sigil allow us to enter? No, we don't know these things.
His sigil didn't either.
Fluke is rich in resources.
Rich in connections.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Roll to know a guy.
Roll to know. That's something you can do.
That is a thing.
Yeah, that is actually it.
No one's done it yet because we haven't gotten to somewhere I think I would know a guy.
I definitely don't know no one.
You've traveled the entirety. This is maybe? I don't know.
I mean, it is possible that I know someone here. Just whether or not they have any standings, a different story.
Hey man, you never know when they're the people that own the bar, right? Like, oh my god, I remember the horseman. You helped me hold my cart. Here's a free round of ale.
I like ale. But you know what I really like? Gin.
You like wine too.
No,
Gin's
I
amazing,
hate
bro.
wine.
I think no, you have
No,
that in common with
I love
Decorm.
rum and wine. I hate gin. Never mind.
Yeah.
I
I remember
feel like
because you
this
were
is-
opposite of porcelain.
Is this
Yeah,
coming
that's
out?
It can be
one
good
thing
drinking
that,
points.
well, that's one thing me and Fluke can disagree on. I hate whiskey, but he likes it apparently. Weirdo.
I also like
Oh.
gin.
So I feel like Dragonfire whiskey is just like a common D&D thing, so that makes sense, kinda.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, kind of.
So,
Yeah,
stream's
kind of.
running, right?
Yep. We can begin while I'm doing this. Do the things.
In that case, I don't think we've heard Clow for a while yet in the recap of last session.
Okay, let's see. I might actually have to ponder that for a hot second. Well, we brought the Viscount back to life, and then we were treated to goodies. We all got a pretty good chance of looking over things. Fluke was actually last on that, and he just like, hey, you got this other sword? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, I don't even have to roll.
What are
Fluke-
the chances?
Fluke got what he
100%
wanted.
apparently.
Well, that was the first play. The game's like, I'm glad you remembered that. I'm like, oh, it was, you said the magic armory. I'm like, ooh. So on the one hand, it's like, well, he found that. That was easy. On the other hand, it's like, if you missed that, my God, who knows if he would have ever found it again. So, you know, heaven or hell. But everyone else rolled around, and we actually negotiated a few extra prizes, which was kind of nice, including freeing a djinn of some kind, who we have nicknamed Furnace, since he understandably doesn't want to give us his real name, since the last time he did that caused him to be imprisoned.
I got the impression he didn't have a name.
I got the impression that his name was something we wouldn't be able to immolate without fire in our throats.
He
I got the
literally did
impression
say, like, the last time I gave someone's
Yeah.
name, I ended up in that, pointing at the bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. But
Yeah. I feel like
Can be
And then
both.
Decorm very rudely called him a bitch.
can we stop giving Decorm crap for that?
No!
Yeah, I mean, Hephe took the lead, but I feel like Fluke kind of came on the back. I'm just like, oh, someone knows stories. Like, oh, hell yeah, I do. But I call him Fern. We sent Furnace to go do his thing, and we feel like, since he has a vested interest, we can relatively trust him. We're all feeling pretty good about that. And then we got on the road, and then we, I don't think much happened on the road. This time. No people throwing nets at Fluke, thankfully, again.
That was
If it
one thing
happens
that happened
again.
on the road.
I was gonna say there was the army.
Oh, yeah! You were just like, oh, that's
Pure
a
terror.
That's
Yeah,
a-
I was gonna say, Hephe was scared. Hephe got straight scared.
That's a thing. Let's send a message and then keep going and pretend we didn't see this. And then we got to Ruble.
We moved all the curses on everybody except for Teak. Sorry, Teak.
But we did alert. I think we did something to alert them that, hey, Teak has a curse. Maybe do something about that. We got most of the monocles too, so after we get the rest of the monocles, you can finally not have that spell prepared.
I mean, they knew that Teak was cursed before we left because we tried to cure Azri while we were there.
Yep.
In our haste, we just kind of forgot.
Yeah. And then we got to our nice little inn for theater kids. I mean, I don't know what I want to call it. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Decorm went.
Well, it's for professionals. I wouldn't say it's for kids.
I mean,
We found a side campaign.
But professionals are still theater kids. I mean, that's something you never.
Yeah,
it
that's
doesn't
true.
leave.
That's true. Don't outgrow it.
No, you don't.
You still accidentally pick the ceiling sometimes.
I swear.
And Decorm went in first to do something totally sus and ate a poster that we'll never know. I mean, Fluke didn't see it, but Porcelain was very uncomfortable. And there was a dancing fawn girl who basically said, "Hey, here's a side quest for when you finish your important shit." And we're like, "Yeah, we like this side quest. We're happy to be part of it. We'll be back here later." It's like, oh, we could be flashy assholes and get extra money. Fluke just like with gold signs in his eyes, just like, ooh, fun. And I think most of us decided to be to start what feats we were working on. Fluke's actually trying to actively get towards Magic Initiate. So woo.
Wait, you're going for Magic Initiate as well? Awesome.
Yep.
I've been going for that, but yeah.
That's why he was hanging out with you last time before they went to bed. I mean,
Awesome.
we didn't really do a scene, but
I did get asked to cuddle Decorum, which she would have and did.
Yay!
now we are venturing the new day with some.
Well, I think we still left off with everyone going to bed, but Porcelain still being awake. So I don't know if there's anything that she wanted to do before going to bed still.
Actually, is there a way to get from the inn to the theater?
Sorry, actually, before because otherwise I'm gonna forget again.
A roll.
Porcelain, Fluke, and Decorm, if they want to, can make. I think I said history or arcane checks, whichever they are better in.
I think I'm the same at both.
Was it for that day when Decorum wasn't feeling well?
Yeah. So Decorm would be with disadvantage.
Everyone roll history.
Okay.
Thank you, Academy training.
It would make sense for Porcelain to know it because it is very much a thorn in your mother's side, as it were.
Oh.
When you saw the stars on the mages that were at the army, you know that those are rankings or they aren't even rankings, but more like certifications of which level of magic someone has achieved. And they are a little bit more complex than just cast this level spell and you can get there. Get the star, but I would also say that you know that your mother is a 3-star mage and is very angry about it because she has tried to get the bronze star multiple times, but has failed every time.
Nice.
Sounds about right.
What a failure.
Well, you have no idea. So,
Want to give us an idea?
You'll have to role play that. I also wanted to do a role I realized I never did in regards to the information that Decorum told me. He told me that his family member runs the commerce district in Rubel. Can I roll? Would it be history again for who that is?
That would be history.
All right. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Like, yeah.
Do the thing.
You do know Baldemir II is his name, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sorry, Decorum, but I can never find the last name of your family in your, or is it just of Rubel?
Of Rubel. When you're gonna
No,
be extra,
that's the
you're gonna
wrong.
be extra.
Luke literally doesn't have one.
What do I know about him? And Decorum did ask me plain face if my connections were involved at all with his connections. Do I know this?
You know that he is in some ways similar to your mother, but also in other ways very opposite in that similar in like the rise from a normal merchant, as it were, to a
Noble.
Powerful noble. And the bigger difference is that your mother has done it all on her own, as it were, and Decorum, like 3 generations of family has worked for it, and they've done it purely through connections and commerce and stuff like that, and like without any serious magical abilities, as it were.
Got it. All right, so I didn't lie to him then.
It's important to establish that.
Yeah, it is. Especially if I didn't realize I was lying.
It's like, oh shit.
Well, that was a lie. Sorry. All right. But I would say that yes. Do I, since I've been here before, know of a way to get to the theater from the inn, since they're side by side?
There is a door that goes directly into the like dressing rooms of the theater, but those are it's usually closed unless there are like there's a performance and people need to run in and out real quick. Like, basically, if there's too many people in a troupe to like for the changing rooms, is where they just take kind of a bit of the
Staff.
not of the staff of the place of the inn.
And
Ah,
extra rooms for extra space.
Yeah.
gotcha. Well, if it's locked, I don't think I want to make that much of a fuss or a mess of myself trying to pick that. Well, then if it's locked, then I'm probably gonna go to bed.
As you go to bed, you hear a thunk against the window as your familiar returns.
Oh, good.
And
I open the window and let her in.
she has a note with her for you that I'm gonna send you to Discord.
Alrighty.
And with that, you have a restful sleep in the left stage. And however late you want to be, you wake up.
I think Azri would try to wake up relatively early for her morning run, but try to not wake up Decorum.
Okay. And for you actually as well. Not actually, I think that it would be probably during your morning run that you feel your your diplomat's pouch that you got just last day get a little bit heavier. As you also receive a note.
I will read it once I'm done. Yep.
There. As ratio. Yeah.
Oh. Azri show. Oh no.
I say Ezra is you.
It's gonna be in handouts then, I assume. No.
It's in Discord.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's a PDF. I didn't think of.
Ah.
Oh.
No, you're good. I just want you to know. Show and folder. Let's just go ahead and move. Can I just go ahead and move? Can I go ahead and move you? Thank you.
No, absolutely not.
Can I just go ahead and not have you on that screen? Thank you.
No, I want to see it.
Oh, that reminds me. Since finishing coloring porcelain was taking so long, I did a doodle. I'd like to share with you.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Thank you.
So yeah, Ezra is on a morning run. The group, you wake up. I think Decorm and Porcelain, you have a audition at like 11. I think you said it for.
Yeah.
Fairly early still. Anything you want to do before then? Anything anyone else wants to do before then, or shall I just go to the auditions? And also a question: what is the rest doing while that is happening?
What are the auditions for?
I think technically you don't even know about it.
Technically, no. How big are the quarters that were given in the inn? I'm assuming not very large.
They are like slightly larger than like an inn on the road, as it were, but they are still not very big.
Okay, that works then. I think we could fit everyone inside. After at breakfast, I do say that I have something I'd like to discuss with everyone in private.
Okay. I have one relatively important question I have to type out to Slump real quick.
Okay.
All right. Well, where exactly can we talk in private?
Does it need to be private?
It may perhaps be a bit of a squeeze, but I was thinking my quarters.
I mean, someone can sit on my back. That'll make it a little bit better, right?
Can't Azrae do her telepathic thingy?
I can only do that with one person at a time. And I'm also on my run.
I'll be here in 15 to 20 minutes.
Does Azrae need to be there?
Yes, I do believe this concerns everyone.
All right. Well, then maybe we should wait for her to get here. Maybe she'll have an idea about how we can all fit in your room, or somewhere else we can talk in private. What exactly is privet?
Where others cannot hear or interfere?
We call that private.
Yes, privet.
What?
Luke is just snickering to himself watching this.
We're agreeing. I don't understand.
I'm saying private.
Yes, privet.
I'm starting to look at everybody else like, am I the only one that's hearing this?
Decorm just shrugs.
Are we saying the same thing? I'm pretty sure we're not saying the same thing.
Yeah, basically.
Decorum. Called an accent, which you both definitely... I mean, everyone has an accent. It makes some words sound different when they mean the same thing.
Okay. All right. Well, then I guess we'll just go do that in privet.
I love it.
Hefe's all for this privet thing without even knowing what privet is.
It's one of those things that I always have to remember when doing this. It's privacy and vitamins and aluminium and blueberry.
I don't do that necessarily.
Luke's just leaning into Decorum, just
Not
like,
nearly as
I was
proper as you.
So tempted to see how long that would go. Thinking it to Decorum.
How long we can keep that going?
We'll
Who's
say,
on third?
About 20 minutes.
Exactly.
About 20 minutes later, Ezra also returns. We'll also say, Ezra, for you, your morning run probably would have been quite frustrating, as Rubel, and especially this district, is very busy, so you'd be more like working on dodging people than like being able to run at a decent speed.
Good monk training.
Like it's basically the training from the Legend of Korra with all the spinning
Bob
balls.
Bob and Weave.
I actually, it's funny because I told Baffle about how like that's the kind of stuff Azri would have done as a kid. She's like, oh, like shit, I've never done this with living people before. Oh god, oh god.
Roll dexterity saves. Let's go. How many people did you run
Oh,
into?
it certainly makes sense.
No.
Porcelain
You know,
knows a
roll
thing or
for
two about
fun.
twirling.
I want to see how many people you bumped into.
Ugh.
I mean, you've got good dexterity, so.
You're a
Dexterity,
monk.
I will roll 3.
Hooray!
I don't know why it's the GM and why it's at disadvantage.
You
The
have-
First one is a 21.
Yeah, you have run into one person who came out of a very much of a blind spot. Well, that's a waste of a natural 20.
I said I was going to roll 3.
Oh,
So my lowest was a 17 across the morning. I think I bumped into like three people maybe.
I think you
I
did that
imagine-
thing.
like at one point, like most of your went fairly well and you managed to dodge everyone, but at one point someone kind of like came from a blind spot for you, and like from that you immediately tumbled into someone else, and like your score went from 0 to 4 immediately as well.
They came from behind.
Asri will be walking in, and since it's early morning, is there like a fire in the inn at all?
Probably not. Because the inn would be kind of magically heated.
Ah, never mind then.
What about the ambiance?
Well, there's a lot of wood in here, so they don't want open fires.
That makes sense.
Absolutely no candles.
I asked for a full fire for a reason. He knows why. He's answered my question. Anyways,
when you approach, I'm sure we wave you over for breakfast, and I also relay to you that we're about to have a meeting once you're all said and done.
is it going to be in privet?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that one.
Swear to God. You stay in character and you pay for it.
I don't
He's
understand.
also staying in character.
And
I
I
Shall
pay
we go
for it.
upstairs? 'Cause I got a meeting in about an hour.
It shouldn't take a
Or-
moment.
What we call
Okay.
it? Or
Well, I'll grab some bacon and an egg and some toast, and
I gotta say their eggs are rather good. You should try them.
I'm sandwiching it up right now, Hephe.
Have you tried the Eggs Benedict?
Oh, you're telling
I-
me that I can eat that in a sandwich?
Absolutely.
First of all, yes.
Chef,
Second
I
of
want
all,
3.
first of all, fantastic. Second of all, why would you make someone make an eggs Benedict this early in the morning?
To be fair, we are in a place full of theater people. I feel like they have people demand that kind of thing quite often.
Yeah, I was about to say, oh, Azra, you think that's the most complicated thing people order here this early in the morning?
It
Um,
better be. Don't be assholes, people. Not you specifically.
a
Like
good
at least that's a
salad
breakfast
salad.
item.
And Eggs Benedict. Isn't that challenging?
I like a nice mushroom omelet myself.
It's really the hollandaise.
I, as a person, may have been thinking of the wrong egg, which is the one that's fucking.
You were probably thinking poached.
That's also
Well,
hard.
that's part of an Eggs Benedict.
I was absolutely thinking of poached egg. Nah, see it, yeah. I'm gonna keep that canon. Asri doesn't know about fancy egg.
Accurate.
I mean,
That
a lot of
doesn't
places
sound
have
fried.
trouble- A lot of places have trouble with the sauce too. That's one of the things that makes it complicated.
It is the
It's all
exact
about the
thing.
sauce.
That we're.
Where's Lord Chonkers?
Lord Chonkers would be on my head. He flies next to me as I run.
Okay.
Right then, shall we?
Bow. And I make him a sandwich as he's just sitting on my head pointing into his own mouth.
Like Garfield.
Exactly! You knew what I was referencing! Bow. Back up to your room so we can get this going.
By the way, as we get into the room, Elvira pokes herself out from underneath my pillow
Okay.
And as everyone files in and we shut the door, I take out the letter that I received and I say, I've received this correspondence from the Viscount.
What's a correspondence?
Oh shit.
It's a
response.
contact.
Oh,
Why did he
okay.
send the letter to you? He doesn't even know you.
Because I sent him Elvira. She came back.
Oh,
So Elvira gave it to her.
makes sense. What's in it?
Well, it reads as, thank you for your warning, and my apologies for the delayed response. I hope the brief conversation I had with Hephe at the very least let you know that we had received your message. It turns out that my original estimation of the situation was incorrect, and the General is not so much here for an inspection as to take over the watch until the fire has been dealt with. It seems that he and Lord Regram? Sorry, that's, it's Regram?
Yeah, Regram.
Regram. Okay. That he and Lord Regram are planning something to stop it. Though I can't help but feel there is more to this. A small army would be logical to take on the mission like this, but 5,000 soldiers is a lot if the job is to protect the mages. As I tried to tell through your magics, my brother has had an open offer to join General Creope's army for a long time. So relationships are good for the moment, but I fear that we are being pulled into a much larger conflict than the Fire Spirits. Sincerely, Anthony Pearson, Viscount of the Snoozing Watch. And as soon as I finish reading, I take out a match from my tinderbox and start burning the letter. Sorry, it said to do this after I was done.
Well, I sure hope anybody of you remembers, because I already forgot half of it.
Long story short, they're taking over the snoozing watch.
And at the moment, they seem to be doing so peacefully, but the amount of force there, he's waiting for it to turn.
It's always peaceful so long as you do what they say.
Well, I'm sure glad I'm not a knight errant.
Well, it's certainly a development, however. Eros has been trying to get into the army, well, back into the army for quite a long time.
Has he?
Yes.
I thought it just said that they've been wanting him in it and he's been turning it down. Perhaps I misunderstood.
It's complicated.
Understood.
I mean, what could they want to fight other than the Fire Spirits? You see, there's something else other than the Fire Spirits going on, right?
Well,
I mean, I'm not from this land, so I'm asking. I mean, does anybody know what they could possibly be fighting? I mean, because I
Each
have no
other.
idea.
Each other.
Yes.
I think if there's one person who knows what might be going on, it should be Lord Orton. I mean, that's kind of his specialty, knowing to an extent what's going on and keeping out of it.
Such a good description of him.
I mean, he's also really good at teleporting, right? 'Cause, I mean, we're going to him to get us to Lost Swamp, right?
I sure hope so.
I mean, it sounds like you know Lord Orton pretty well. Is that true?
I know of his status. How old is Lord Orton?
He would be close to 3 centuries old, I think.
Huh. He's one of the nobles here who knows how to act.
I would like to meet him. Can we meet him soon? You said that you had to go do a thing, like, what exactly is that thing that you got to do?
An audition.
What are you auditioning for?
I'm not auditioning for anything.
What's an audition?
There it is.
These are all new words to me. I'm sorry.
No, that's fair. That's fair. It's like an intake, like somebody presenting you to be of service.
And you're auditioning someone?
Yeah.
Can I see?
I mean, if you want to.
Hooray!
Oh, but we need. You could play a part in this. Could you pretend to be the one in charge?
I mean, I've gotten real good at that.
Charge of what?
It's
What's
a
going
great
on here?
practice of your leadership. If the auditioners don't know that I'm the actual one judging, making the call, and they try to impress you, I get a better sense of them.
All right, so they're there to impress me.
That's what they think.
All right, I can do that. I like to be impressed. Do I get to tell them if they're doing a good job or a bad job?
You get to tell the people who do a bad job.
I
How
get to
about
say
that?
I get to say that I'm not impressed.
Yes.
All right, I'm in. Let's go. I start like clopping up and down.
Okay.
Was
What are you guys
lean
talking
into-
about?
I lean into Decorm and I say, "Are you sure about this?"
Luke, what are they talking about?
It's
Fluke shrugs.
I mean, Porson, look at him. He's so happy. How could I take it away from you?
I mean, if we're not careful about this, he may offend some very renowned actors.
They're actors.
So
Gonna
does
be
this have
offended, no matter what.
Does this have to do with that thing you ran ahead in all suspicious
His
like
date?
earlier?
No.
Are you trying to audition to make a girl pretend to be your girlfriend to piss off this other person? It
Would you
got oddly
believe me if
quiet.
I said no?
I mean, that depends on roles.
I mean, guys, can't we just settle that I'm in charge and then we're gonna do this audition thing?
No,
I want to be
mean,
impressed.
Mo! And Chonkers will spread his wings.
Esray,
Yes.
I might actually get a little job for Lord Chonkers as well.
Narrows her eyes and puts her arms around him. No. You guys have had enough fun with Chonkers. Remember the melted trees? Remember the giant fire heart? I think that
I
Chonkers...
also remember that someone got away because of all the acid moat.
I think that was because someone wasn't paying attention on the watch, Hephe.
I was paying attention. Teak was hitting me. I had to concentrate real hard on not getting hit.
Before this could turn into an argument, Porcelain comes forward and she says, "Hephe, why don't you join me down towards the theater and I'll explain a bit more about how to judge for an audition."
In his
I
mind,
wanna learn.
Decorum will hear, what is it you had in mind?
And I'll discuss what we discussed on Discord.
Gotcha. She will, at the end of the conversation, her brow will just be furrowed, and then she'll look at you and be like, I'm in.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
That's basically what this is. She will say out loud, Fluke, will you join me for a bit to the commercial, to one of the places? Because I wanted to see if we could find a magic shop where I could buy those scrolls that I was talking about, just because I would like to get those before we head out.
I mean, yeah. Now, I didn't mean to be odd about peeking over your book, but have you heard of this thing called Booming Blade?
I look at my blade and I'm like, no, but I wouldn't mind a boom.
I don't want you in any way to imply that you are runner boys, but if you are going there, could you maybe also try and find somebody to sell these, and I'll put down my Morning Star, the plate armor, and yeah, I think that's what we need to be sold.
Am I there? Or did I leave with Porcelain yet?
I
I think
imagine you'd.
Yeah.
Which one?
You left it, Porcelain.
Damn it!
I mean, on the one hand, I'm very happy that you weren't a dick about that request. That shows real growth. On the other hand, he looks to himself and then to Ezra and then looks to the plate armor.
looking at it right now to see, because I didn't realize that the weight calculations didn't take effect until tiny. So I might have actually not been at weight capacity this whole time and been just under half capacity. Because of dum-dum.
Well, plate armor weighs 65 pounds.
Small and strong.
Oh no, hold up. Hold on. Where's my
But it's
character sheet?
also for now only like half speed, so it will take a bit longer, but it isn't like you aren't able to take it with you.
Let's
You just
see.
need to take a couple breaks.
Yeah, it's just it's like
hold
we
on.
could technically lift a couch, but my god.
Let's see. Can I alter your weight? Let's see if I was to. Yeah, that weighs so fucking much. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, come to think of it, you have the disc thing, so that might make things
That's
a little
true.
more doable.
That
Yeah,
will make it
yeah.
easier, actually.
Yeah, I will ritual cast that. I was gonna see if I had enough weight for it. I don't. As we're going down, I'll actually try to collect the armor that I know that she wanted to sell as well. The porcelain wanted to sell.
Ah, thank you.
And
So-
Ezra,
Yes.
when you do, make sure that you say the product is quality approved by Baldomir II.
Voldemort the second. Duly noted.
To improve your haggling position.
Duly noted.
To be fair, if anyone's haggling, Luke just like cracks his claws.
Shouldn't use those for negotiating, Fluke.
And that little friggin' I imagined that goddamn satyr lady from before just being
Yeah.
immediately behind Fluke, and imagine just being like, "How do you know his name? Did we see that last
Don't
night?"
ask fake creatures things.
Involving names, I absolutely want to know how it got information on name.
Don't ask questions.
Questions have been asked.
And as you question her, she poofs again.
I
told
told
you
you
not
not
to
to ask questions.
You hear you don't see her this time, but you hear like from up the stairs, there's a boom 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 as someone's running up the stairs.
Luke just looks
Smoke
bewildered, just like, well, there, she could have just asked around town. I do live here.
I won't lie to you, Fluke. I can completely forget that your entire guild is based out of Rubel. It's just Rubel's in Decorm's name, so I guess I just kind of automatically associate it. Maybe you should be Fluke of Rubel.
There's no Fluke of the snoozing watch.
But you're just Fluke. You could be Fluke of Rubel of the Snoozing Watch. Now we're getting complicated, aren't we? This is a little too Decorm.
Look, I mean, I don't have a last name, and that does make me feel a little lower class, but yeah, I'm not looking to add about 20 titles.
Oh, you could have the last name of Telrax.
Tanner, wait, what?
My last name. It was one I made. My name was just Asri, and then I decided, no, I'm Asri Telrax now. And so, yeah.
What? Were you an orphan too? What the?
I grew
feel
up
like
in a monastery, yes.
I feel like I should know more about you, considering what we went through.
I feel like that is a fair thing, but you also did get to see one of the most vulnerable moments of my life. So, on the flip side, you also know more than anyone else in the party save Porcelain. I was her poor friend.
Well, I mean, you saw me in a few compromising positions. I
Yes,
don't
and
really
one
think
very fun one.
don't really think anyone needs to know about the skeleton.
No, but the flip was really good. Like I said, as I actually told, what is his name? Decorm, like, you actually did that flip. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, I mean, see me do some flips, and those guys were assholes.
Yeah, I know.
One
But,
of
like,
them was taunting elvish slaves. It was so weird.
that's what they do. Anyways.
So your ultimate goal here is you're wanting to judge not just the emotion and expression, but also the emotion and expression that it makes you feel.
I mean, so I want to say whether or not I feel impressed with the emotions that I'm feeling.
Well,
or if it made that you feel them.
I mean,
was
if I
actually
touched
very
them, I
accurate
would
what he
feel
said.
them, right?
I suppose that's a bit of a simpler way of putting it, but if it gets the idea across.
All right, so I need to judge them on how well they look, like how they think that they look, and then also on how I think that they make me feel.
Yes. Yes, it's very good. And when they aren't impressing you, you just say, thank you, but we're going to be moving on for now. And then they know that essentially they didn't get it. It's a very polite way of saying, we're not looking for you is another good one.
So if I just say thank you, move along.
Yes.
Thank you. Move along.
All right, I can say thank you, move along. That's if they're not impressive, but I'm not allowed to say anything if I am impressed, right? Am I allowed to clap? Can I clap?
Oh, absolutely.
I love clapping. Can I stand? Oh wait, I'll probably be standing anyway. Never mind.
You stand.
No, I'm standing anyway. I'll sit down if I'm not impressed. I'll sit down. I'll say move along.
That's the ultimate shade. Like
Well,
just
actually,
laying
it's-
down while
It's
someone's
actually a
performing.
bit the other way around. You usually stay seated, and if you are very impressed, then you stand.
All right, so we're gonna go somewhere that I can sit down at.
You can sit in the aisle.
Looks at his horse body.
I like where this is going.
Oh no.
So, you all ready?
I think I'm ready to be impressed.
All right.
You take the lead, and don't get used to this. Play the part of your assistant. The only thing you need to do is be impressed.
I'm not an assistant. I'm in charge.
Yes,
you are.
exactly.
I'll play the part of your assistant.
Yeah, exactly. You are my assistant. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Play the
I'll be
part.
the one to organize the actors, and I'll be sending them on stage for you for judgment.
I like
Okay.
it.
So, I think we talked about it on Discord before, but just for the sake of brevity, I'm gonna say that because there's about 30-ish actors who are here now for the auditions, and actually when you start talking with the management of the inn itself, they say there were about 70 before, but 40 of them just aren't here anymore.
Yeah, happens.
So
I am not impressed. Thank you. Move along.
Well, usually the first judgment of the 30 is for how they came in costume and if they fit with what you're looking for. Otherwise, you can send them home right there.
yeah, so I was gonna say, you give everyone a chance to impress you, as even the people who physically don't fit what you're looking for can still either through magic or other means often play the part, as it were.
Mhm.
So after a first round, I say you have about 5 people left that in some way or another impressed you. And I'm just gonna go through them first. So the first one is a bit of an odd one, as they were both stood very positively stood out in makeup and acting skills, but also stood out negatively very much, as it is very clearly a 17-year-old girl who doesn't really want to be there, but has a very pushy mother.
Mm-hmm.
And in their prepared show off, it was also very clear that the mother had written their small scene that they were gonna do, and even though it should be the daughter's opportunity to show what she can do, it seemed like the scene was completely focused on the mother. But the girl is actually, through a combination of magic and makeup, can basically look like what anything you want, and also as a I think Porcelain at least would be able to recognize she's clearly someone who has had like acting lessons and has done performances for years, even though she isn't that old yet. That's the first option you have. The second also stood out very much when they just entered the room, for that matter, as it was a fairly thin-looking dwarf who was being carried by an iron golem. And the dwarf, he himself, he has like a lot of enthusiasm in his. He had this like grand monologue for himself with his robot as a. Oh no, it's a monologue. So he just had this grand monologue for himself, and he is very clearly good with. Well, there's the golem, but also just with like technicals and how do you call it? Like the pyrotechnics, as it were. And like his acting is very much like out there, and he also has like a little bit of magic to make him look like differently. But like very bombastic, I should say. That's the word I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Then the third person is a black dragonborn. When she first kind of entered the room, when she like first entered like in the waiting with others, she didn't stand out very much. But when she got on stage, like it genuinely felt like suddenly the entire stage got darker and there were less lights as she basically played this part of a witch in a hut preparing a sacrifice to some ancient deity that you've never heard of. Then the fourth one was a red dragonborn. Also very proficient with magic, and someone that like when you look at the talent he has with magic, you feel like if he wanted to, he could be like a very highly skilled mage, but instead he is like perfecting very low levels of magic to give himself the ability to like basically disguise self plus, as it were. That definitely someone who has like the passion. His acting was like a little bit below the rest. Also in energy seems to be a bit like calmer. Oh, and I've been saying he, but it should be they. My apologies, the person I just came up with. Then for the last one, I'd like all of you to make a perception check.
Righto.
Okay.
That's why I invited Oliver.
Whoop.
Whoop. Oh.
That's about right.
So when she walked in, she kind of stood out as it's a halfling lady, but she, even for a halfling, seems short. Especially Hephe would have noticed that. Well, actually, I'll say for Porcelain and Decorm, it just looks like a halfling lady. Hephe noticed that she looks like a halfling, but she's also simultaneously wearing like high heels, and also somehow managed to hide that from the rest of you. But like she's much smaller than you'd expect. And I'd say with the 14 Hephe, you do notice that she has a very thick layer of makeup over her, just on her face and everything. For the rest, all of you notice that she's been very proficient with her disguising herself. And like right at the end of her performance, she basically like rips off all her clothes, and underneath it is a male goblin.
Oh my.
Wow.
All right.
That deserves an applause.
You fucking. Oh. Hephe, do the thing with the rest.
I just nod because I saw the high heels, so I was not as impressed as the others were.
Did you
I knew
say
something was up, so I just
Did you
nod.
say goblin or gnome?
Goblin.
But
Well-
4 and 5 are the same thing. 6 is different.
Golf
Six
clap,
is fine.
golf clap. Thank you all for your presentation. Very.
I mean, I would like contestant number 1, if you may. Can I just see you do something without your mother? Your mother seems kind of, I don't know, I don't like her too much.
You see Porcelain, like, on the side of the stage, like, put both hands up to her head and hold it for a second as she looks at
What?
at
They
Hephe.
call it except saying.
I'm sorry. I meant to say I would like your mother to thank you and move along.
I'm so glad that Baffles mic like auto shuts off, but like if she gets too loud, because dear lord, that was a beautiful laugh I just heard out there.
Okay. Very hurriedly, I like usher the girl on stage while I'm looking at the mother, and I say, "I'm so sorry."
She seems like a little bit flustered when she is put on stage, and actually make a performance check for her.
I would like
girl
you to
best has
try to
advantage.
impress me, please. Thank you.
She clearly throughout her performance is a little bit flustered, but you do note that after hearing it once, she does almost perfectly redo the monologue of the dwarf,
Oh.
Oh,
and just as bombastic, which she before absolutely did not seem capable of.
That's the first one that I stand up and clap for.
the dwarf in the background. What the fuck?
You can hear some.
Could I,
I don't know who if you speak Dwarvish, but you hear some very interesting swear words.
That's so brilliant. I would like to shuffle over to Decorum and whisper behind them. Hephe does have a point. She's very good, but who are you thinking of for the mother? Anyone catch your eye?
Give me a quick second. Sir Hephe, is it okay if I ask a few questions?
I mean, absolutely. I do like to be put in places where I can make decisions.
Girl, what's your name?
My name is Sakarina.
Do you enjoy what you're doing?
Question. Porcelain, you had like ushered away her mother, right?
Sorry.
Porcelain.
I hadn't
yeah.
ushered her away. I was ushering the girl onto stage and basically like mouthed an apology to her mother.
Okay, with her
I
mother
did tell her to
still.
move along, though. If that means
Yeah,
anything.
but she would have definitely like stayed and watched the
That's fair.
performances, as it were.
on the side stage,
Yeah,
on the
that's fair.
sideline. I had to stand there very uncomfortably next to
Yeah.
her.
Directors, am I right?
Seriously.
She'll say, I've very much enjoyed it ever since I've been a kid.
Well, that insight.
Good. And ma'am, what's your name?
Give me a second. With 23 insight, you definitely see her take a look at her mother when she says that. Who are you talking to, Cherry?
To her
Or
mother.
Decorm? Oh, my name's Stasia.
Fasia. You enjoy the theater as well?
Oh, very much so.
And you are aware that this is a gig that is potentially prolonged?
Oh yes, we live in both in rubles. So actually, now to think about it, Cherry would make or Decorm make a history check. But she will basically explain like she lives in rubles, so
History,
and she would actually and she would actually, after saying that, immediately say like we'd be willing to travel because she definitely sees this as like the gig, as it were. Okay, with a 7 history, you don't recognize her.
Okay. This gig doesn't only include acting. Are you willing to do production tasks and the sorts?
Make an insight check.
Go gadget -2.
Come on, natural 20, modified 18.
And since Hephe is also still, what's Hefe's passive insight? Or do you also
Passive-
want to roll? That could also be.
Oh yeah, I'll roll insight.
After
Mine's a
seeing that
plus
too?
8, so 27.
Okay. Yeah, okay. 27. Hephe, you can very clearly see a face of disgust that very quickly gets moved away to a simple smile, and she says, "Of course not."
Is that Tasia or is that
I'm-
Zakarina?
That is that's Tasia.
Tasia, the mom. Okay.
And
man.
she will add, I'm not very good with my hands though.
I'll walk to Porcelain and whisper in her ear, I want this girl. And that last one was quite intriguing. The fifth one might also be potential. The third one as well. Perfect for this part, but not sure. I think Luke is gonna kill her.
I didn't like the third one, and it made my skin all tingly.
Would you like my opinion?
Sure. And as Hephe is here, I assume we just take a moment outside of
Yeah.
the...
You
Yeah.
can.
We excuse them
tell
for
hey, we're
deliberation.
gonna have a chat about this. And
All right, everyone, thank you. Move along. Except for you, the first one. You need to move along, but no, thank you.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
No.
Excuse me,
No,
excuse
no,
me. We
no
will
one
be
go.
deliberating and we'll be with you quite shortly. Thank you.
I love that. What was that?
It was perfection. That's what it was.
I'm not here, but I'm like, wait, which one were they insinuating Fluke?
Yeah.
Once
mother,
we're
I think.
alone and discussing.
Possibly.
Now, if I may give my opinion, I agree with the both of you. The girl, very good, and I think very much fits into one of the roles that you're thinking of, Decorum. The mother has to go.
Yeah. That's why I told her to move along, but she just kind of stayed there anyway. I don't think she understood it.
You're gonna have to be very firm, and we have to be delicate with this because there's a fair chance that if we offend her mother too much, or at least don't give her some place in some of the production, whether it be supplies or whatever, there's a chance that she'll pull her daughter from the scene entirely. As I believe she may be underage, she has the ability to do that.
I mean, what's the age laws here?
I look at Decorum.
Gorm looks
First
to the
couple
sky.
would be perfect. For me, the second one, he can go. We need to know his name because he might get useful in the future. The third one would be perfect for this part, but not in the future. Has to go. Hephe, you realize it? You can send people away after this. The fourth one, not really exactly what I'm looking for. The fifth one, good in the long run, not great for this part. The sixth one, he knows how to live life. And that's
6-1?
The
Four-
fifth,
four
the fifth
and
and
five.
fourth one are the same.
They're the same.
Oh, okay.
There were only 5 contestants altogether.
Yeah,
The fourth
I was
one-
confused.
The fourth one, interesting, but not what I'm looking for. The fifth one, he knows how to live life. I want to include him, not for this part, but just keep him around for a bit.
I mean, he just seems like a good time.
Well, absolutely. I do argue for number 3, however, specifically for this part that you're looking for.
Well, here's what I was thinking. The first one, the mother, she... And excuse me for using my language, she's a bitch.
I have to agree with that one. That's what we call a horse mom.
But to be fair, the character we are casting is kind of a bitch. So I think it would be great to have them do this together. And after that, we know them a little better, and then we can maybe shoo her off and keep continuing with the girl and number 6 of number 5.
I will forewarn you, if you are thinking about actually using Tasia, you're going to have to put your foot down as a director and stop letting her steal the spotlight, because it seems like it's all she knows how to do.
You are indeed right. I think it would work for this part.
If you're confident, then I'll back you.
If I may, I think I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna go to the door.
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna open the door, and I'm gonna say, Zacharina, could you come in real quick? I'd like to talk to you.
She comes followed by her mother, but I imagine after a look of Hephe, her mother waits
The
outside.
sneer. I wasn't talking to you.
I just give I just give her the look with.
I said you could move along.
Yeah.
But she's there.
As she comes in, I say, "Hello, dear.
Hello?
We've just got a few questions for you, if you don't mind."
Sure.
And I give Hephe the floor.
What? Now I close the door behind me. Now you can be honest. What do you think of your mother?
She
Roll for bravery.
supports me very much, and
I mean, is that
wants
why
what's
everything's
best for
always
me?
about her?
well, look, I know that it's that this is more of her thing than mine necessarily, but these jobs always have helped me pay for my lessons, and as long as I do performances, she'll let me go to college.
All right, and what lessons are we talking about exactly?
And she'll show her magic off again. And she'll actually grab a book with her own notes and ideas on spells and everything.
All right, so you're telling me that you don't actually like to act, you're just doing it because it pays the bills and your mom's making you do this?
As a kid I liked it, but I found the magic part just a lot more interesting than the acting part.
I just look at
tell
the
her.
other two.
Zachariah.
So who was talking?
I reassure her, we won't say a thing.
Zachariah, want to be a wizard?
She nods.
Well, I may not look the part, but I went to the university.
She looks at you with well, she was already very impressed, so she would have already been looking with like slightly big eyes, but she definitely seems
Now
like
there's
to
a
be
shimmer.
listening more to what you're talking about right now.
I won't say I have any influence left there, but I do got a fair share of money. We got a friend who may be one of the brightest people at least one of the brightest people I know.
Teak.
Far outsmarting most of my teachers. And I'm also the prime example that living a life that your adult peers want to live is not good for a man or woman. If this is truly what you want to do, pursue. I'm willing to be a patronage in this, but you have to be brave enough and stand up to these adult peers. Is this something you think you're capable of doing?
She kind of nods, like not fully convinced, and she'll like heavy swallow and forget. Well, I'm not 18 anyway, so there's not much I can do until a year for 10 months from now.
Hmm.
"10 months comes faster than you think, and it is all right to start growing and exercising towards your independence. You do become an adult one day."
Like she's listening and registering what you're saying, but you can also like kind of see like a panic coming up as she's thinking about having to stand up to her mother and everything.
And, you know, you have genuine talent both as an actress and as a magic user, and you've already earned us backing you. We do believe in you. You find a lot of support along the way, someone of your skill.
I mean, you said your mom wants to support you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you told? Can I inside that? Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Oofta.
Yeah. I was actually wanting to. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go with your passive insight, Hephe, because I want to explain this.
Hooray! It is high.
Yeah, You figure that she believes that's what her mother believes, but it's also obvious to her that her mother is kind of like just living like her life through her, as it were. She, like, her mother never made it as an actress, so now she has to become the actress, and then her mother can, like, live off that glory, as it were.
I mean, Fluke can tell that, and he's not even there.
Sakarina, I know exactly what we're gonna do.
I want to get involved. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I want to get involved in this.
Full disclosure, and this is the first and last time I'm gonna be this frank with you. I'm the one in charge. I'm the one who's paying for this all. I'm gonna hire you and your mother. You're gonna do the performance I have in mind. After that, we have a meeting with Lord Orton. You know of him?
She nods.
I hear he knows how to teleport people.
You'll come with us. We'll introduce you to him. He might be the best place for you to be in the coming 10 months.
And
I'll
she'll
support
nod
you
again.
wherever you can. And we'll talk again in 10 months. If there's a gig in between, I'll make sure to contact you.
Or, now hear me
Okay.
out, if Lord Orton could teleport people, you could just come live with the Silver Blossoms.
Hephe, that's not
She
a part
looks
of her
very scared at that
aspirations,
proposition.
I guarantee you.
What'd you say, Slumperd?
She looks very scared at that proposition.
I mean, it's just an idea.
I'd
There
like to stay
I am
here,
in
though.
charge instead of here,
Or-
like the core.
I want to go to
We're
university,
here.
but I want to return here after that.
Oh, okay, well then maybe you shouldn't go with us to the Silver Blossom Clan, because that's probably gonna be a one-way trip.
Probably.
I mean, it took me 6 months to walk here.
I And I'm past.
I mean, I did some sightseeing, so maybe you can get here in like 4 months. I don't know.
Conclusively. We are happy to bring you aboard.
Okay, that's
I'm gonna go to the door, and I'm gonna open the door. I'm gonna cast thaumaturgy on myself.
Hephe,
I'm gonna turn around with thaumaturgy already on my voice. And I'm gonna say, "What?"
I cover her ears for her.
that's a very good thing because she was about to faint.
please, could you come back for 1 minute?
I clap on back,
With the door closed?
Go
and I
outside
close the
for a
door.
minute.
What'd you say? What'd you say? Sorry.
Zacharina, could you go outside for a minute?
Of course, and she, like, the first couple of steps are like in a polite pace, and then she just almost starts running.
Okay, Hephe. We're gonna hire Zacharina and her mother,
I nod.
and number 5. The other 3 you can politely send away.
But
I
tell
think it
them
would be nice to know the name of the dwarf. And please invite them to come in so I can give them their instructions.
Do you want the dwarf to come inside
No,
too?
no. The dwarf, we just need the name.
All right. I'm gonna go back to the door. I'm gonna cast thaumaturgy on myself again. I'm gonna say, dwarf, what's your name?
You hear about 6 different dwarves answer their names.
Let me repeat that. The dwarf with the iron golem that I was actually that I didn't say thank you, move along to the first time.
number 2.
My name's Iasan.
I shout back to Decorm, Iasan. Thank you, Iasan. Move along.
And I finish my ale first.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
He'll just like remain sitting and drinking his ale.
Okay. Also, Zacharina and Tassia, can you come inside, please?
And number 5.
And the goblin that was in high heels and lots of makeup that no one else knew was in high heels and lots of makeup. Could you come back inside too? But I saw through it.
You like that? I knew there was a trick. I knew.
Patting himself on the
Everyone
back.
else that I did not name, thank you. Move along. And I slam the door after everyone else is inside.
You turn around and Porcelain is leaning against the back wall, just like pinching the bridge of her nose. That went as best as it could have.
Yes. It was very loud.
Meanwhile, Azrael and Flick are just like, for some reason, I feel like Porcelain has gotten a great understanding of what it's like being responsible in this group.
Listen,
we get our
I'm
shopping.
using my theater voice, all right?
He does have an excellent stage voice.
So, while the people are moving towards you, I'd like to switch for a moment to Ezra and Fluke,
Oh, yeah, okay.
because otherwise you're basically here for nothing.
I don't know if Fluke's looking for anything, but Asri's just looking for a place to buy the spell scroll of Identify, spell scroll of Lehman's Tiny Hut, and hopefully some Tinkerer's tools.
Okay. Both of you make an investigation check, Fluke with advantage.
Ah, sweet.
Oh,
As you have said many times, you live here.
Yeah.
Oh, this,
biggest city
At
I've
least
ever
for-
been in.
yeah, exactly. Like, for Ezra,
Says
mostly
districts.
just impressed by the big city, and like spends probably like a good amount of time like around the theater, the theaters, like looking there for shops and things, but not finding anything what she's looking for. And at some point, Fluke just like takes over and just, okay, I'll show you the shops I know. And I'd say, Fluke, with the 21, you do know that stuff like Liederman's tiny hut, you'd have to go to the arcane district for. But identify stuff like very low level magic stuff that would be possible in the commerce district. And since you had all that weaponry and everything, I'd say you'd also know of a fairly good blacksmith who also trades in armory and weapons instead of only making them.
So
we should probably start at the commerce district and unload our wares, and we can then grab some of the more basic spells you were interested in. Then after that, if we have money left over, then the arcane district. Depending on how necessary you find Liam's tiny hut, you may want to consider maybe saving your money, and we might have to double back on the commerce district.
Listen, we're about to go into a swamp, and I just really don't feel like I want us to be exposed at night. And so I definitely think we need to unload everything, pointing and gesturing to the stuff that we were given, and then go to see about the level ones. At the very least, price how much that scroll will cost.
Honestly, I'd be interested in the level ones too. I mean, just having scrolls of... I've got basically 2 spells I'm interested in, and I'm just... I'm unsure which one I want to commit to actually fully understanding.
Fair enough.
By the way, DM, out of character, there's just... I mean, you wouldn't be able to use it permanently, obviously, but there's no such thing as a cantrip scroll or anything, is there?
There are scrolls of cantrips.
Okay.
They are less common than first level scrolls, as they are often like a single cantrips, mostly used like to teach someone magic, as it were. So they're
it's
mostly...
not something a wizard can just be like, now I know all the cantrips, ha.
No, it's mostly like used by tutors who go to families to teach people magic, like the first few spells or first experience through magic for young wizards goes often through cantrip scrolls.
Okay, cool. Good. That works for Fluke.
Alrighty. So we are on our way. We will sell some weapons.
So,
Nice.
for this selling in the blacksmith, what's everything you've got, and yeah,
Okay.
well, what's all the stuff you want to sell?
Okay, so we had plate mail and Morningstar from Cherry, and then we had the chain mail from Porcelain, right?
No, she also had plate mail.
Oh,
plate
Yeah,
armor.
plate mail.
Where's the other chain mail? Because he's
The chainmail she already sold at Watch.
Yeah.
No, not that. Cherry sent in their plate armor and Morningstar and chainmail. Is that from just his own thing? Or wait,
I mean, we would have asked, does anyone have mundane shit they want to sell?
Yeah.
We would have asked, so...
yeah,
Now's
I'm
the time for
also
anyone retroactively.
I guess asking Decorum if that chainmail that was one of that he had, or if that was just you thought that was something somebody else had.
No, that's my old chainmail.
Okay, so we have the plate, the Morningstar, and the chainmail from him, and then we have the other plate armor from
Porcelain.
Porcelain, and then what else do we have? Anyone? Going once, twice?
My stuff's
Cool.
sold.
I've got my old leather armor. I've got studded leather now.
I don't wear
Puzzles.
armor, so I'm good.
That's about it, since everything else is either keepsakes or worthless, or being used.
I have a question, just so I understand as a character. Those monocles let us see invisibility, right?
See into the ethereal plane.
Right. Sorry, we still have the 4 potions of see invisibility that we're gonna keep. Then, never mind. Yep, that's all we're gonna try and sell then. So we walk in and I'm waiting for Fluke to introduce me to his armory buddy.
I'm waiting for the DM to tell me about my armory, buddy.
Psst, the scenery. Where's the scenery?
You walk in. There's a guy. He sells things. You walk up. You sell the things. You get so much money.
How much money?
Also, why is our DM muted?
Oh.
Oh. Maybe he had a moment.
Yeah, no, I had. Whenever I start doing maths on my computer, I accidentally click a button and then I mute myself.
It's just like, wow, Slump hasn't talked a while. I see the freaking microphone X, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. No, I was like busy saying like, oh, you see this, and then you all started complaining about not seeing anything. I was just saying that.
Guys, that's the words that are coming out of my mouth.
Are you not paying attention to me?
Start gaslighting Slump.
Hey guys, is Slump talking?
Oh my
No,
god.
you totally gave us a ring of wishing. It's fine.
I
I overheard
hated
it.
that shit as a child.
Anyways.
So, as you like on the outside, you see a large forge standing. The forge is currently is being used, but by what Fluke knows to be the apprentices. The master blacksmith is inside at the moment. And as you walk in, you see this very large dragonborn, like close to 7 feet tall, red dragonborn. In it looks to be like it isn't like really armor that you think would function in like a battlefield, but is clearly like protective. And since both you are working with magic, you recognize that there's this like small red glow over it, as it is like basically protecting him from the fire that he's standing in front of. And Fluke, you know him as Thalis, the blacksmith. He
Is it
often takes
Athalis
commissions.
or Thalis or Athalis?
Thalis.
Thalis, okay.
Yeah, you know that he often takes commissions for the guild.
Yeah, I would probably, just for the sake of flavor and having connection, I'm gonna say, you know how my 2 short swords had a particular design. The first one was fancier. I'm guessing the guild would probably already have that, and I had this guy probably make me something to match.
Yeah, probably.
Makes sense. Because the one was much more innate than the other, and I'm like, that makes sense for a rogue, just to have these kind of mismatching but kind of matching swords.
So, as you approach him, he has like this open fire where he is like melting various metals in. It is very hot. It's like as soon as you open the door, it's like a sauna. You know, that the wave of heat that suddenly like walks into you.
Looks just like, Thalis, you do know your customers aren't fire resistant, right?
Ah, that wasn't. I should take the shop instead of the forge. And he kind of looks around and says, Fluke, was it? I remember you. Not every day you see Purple Kobold.
I mean, damn straight.
Is
Oh,
it
the
not?
Can I do
OG?
anything for you? I imagine we haven't met yet. He looks at her. You a new member?
Not necessarily. Just a friend met along the way.
Just as good.
I mean, honestly, she's the one I would imagine out of all my cohorts that would fit in the best.
And
Initiate?
You know that word. Thank you.
She looks
Anyway.
at his and say, Asri T.
It-
Telrax, pleasure to meet
it's
you,
e-
Alice.
Easier to say in Draconic, to be fair.
I imagine I can help you with something.
We've mostly got things to sell, though. If you'd like, I mean, I got a toy if you just want to observe the craftsmanship.
Let's do business first and pleasure later.
Grin.
So, what have you brought for me today?
I I will present basically the 2 plate armors.
Disc floats in the disc.
Yeah, basically float the disc in.
Is quite a lot. Let's have a look.
Yes. I know one of them, and I will gesture to the one that has the marks from Decorm's family. I know one of them is supposed to be of a masterwork quality, but that is just what I've been told.
Not a good sales
Yeah,
pitch.
I do recognize this
I'm-
symbol, but
Not high charisma.
I wish I could forget that symbol at this point, but
Oh,
Sarah.
you just take the chainmail and puts it to the side. This is fairly good quality. Let's see at the other ones. And he starts looking at the plate armors. At the plate armor that was meant for porcelain is a bit small, isn't it? Well, for you it's probably still too big, but you get what I mean.
I do.
Well, I mean, not every bad Dragonborn is built like you.
Yeah, most are, I think.
I've seen some lanky Dragonborn.
Saw a red one.
Just in a tone of like, I'm not buying your shit.
And he starts looking over the Morningstar as well, and the Morningstar has been fairly well used, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't know how much Decorm is smacking people with that, to be honest.
I've seen some
So-
smites go through it.
Okay.
Well, since you're walking around with it, so simply I'm gonna assume that, and he points at this point at the chainmail armor from Decorm, that you've gotten that through connections or a friend or something?
Yes.
Okay, that's...
We're selling on behalf of others. We're
You're gonna
DBA.
melt it. Yeah. A lot of these families don't like it when they sell their stuff, so I'd probably still have to melt all of that down. I can... Well, actually, let me check how much I have in stock right now. And he starts, like, walking over and grabs his large book.
You know, you need a petite size. You don't usually make petite sizes.
And he starts kind of looking over it and he says, I think I can give you 2,500 gold for all of it.
Broke his chin a little bit. What about a more even 3,000 for friends?
The plate armor is worth 3,000 alone.
Is it? I thought it was 8,000.
Plate armor is 1,500 GP a pop. So the
Yeah,
two of that.
to sell or to buy. I mean,
It's basically the full money is in the plate armor because the rest is... but that's also meant as like new... Well, the porcelain's armor is fairly new still, but that is meant as like completely new off-the-shelf armor. as it were.
And
Oh,
the
absolutely.
Decorum's
Armor were worn only once.
Okay.
Either way, I'm not even proficient in persuasion. I don't think so. Hey, Fluke, do the talking.
Also wondering, how much
Fluke,
does
make a persuasion check.
chainmail isn't worth a lot, neither is the Morningstar, so that actually probably
Yeah.
be pretty overall. Pretty
Yeah.
good. Okay.
He's gonna melt down the other plate armor anyway too.
Okay, so
No, the
let's see.
chainmail is he
Oh, the
gonna
chainmail.
melt down.
I'm good at this. Give me a good roll, please.
17.
Well, yeah, still not bad.
It's all right.
Let's see.
How much does he like you?
not to only even partially remember his name.
He knew it.
He
But
just isn't. Yeah, he recognized Fluke instantly, but just didn't remember the name instantly. I can go up to 2,800.
looked at Ezra just like, that's fair enough. At least. What do you think?
I think that it's not our stuff, and if they wanted more money and wanted to argue with somebody, they'd be here doing it themselves.
Also,
I think that's very
consider-
generous.
Let's be doing this in Thieves' Camp just for the shit of it.
Yeah, I almost forget that. I don't know how I forget that we both
So
share that.
I will say you can't just speak Thieves. Thieves' Cant is more of a language of symbols and
Hand gestures.
I thought it was like
Yeah.
it could also be like down low slang.
we talk and jive.
but that still would be difficult to make like full sentence out of.
I
It
say-
would still be like more saying like something like I have a job. It pays in gold, it pays in platinum, it pays in this, etc.
No, it's like that TikTok. It's like, wig. Oh my god, did you just say
Say
wig?
wig. Wig. Now that's just for
And
us.
I will also say that to Fluke that you would know that he also understands Thieves' Cant.
Well, yeah,
Ah.
that would work. I just feel like Thieves' Camp is the perfect language to talk about price in. This is when you're discussing privately. But the SOC's agreeing anyway. Just like, yeah, I think 2,800 is fair enough.
That's the perfect, and he writes you a note, and he hands it to you, Fluke, and says, "You know where you can get that." And basically, like sums larger than 1,000 gold. Usually, instead of just handing the gold from a store, people will hand out notes that you can bring to a bank.
He wrote a check.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, it's not like I want you to lose your shirt. Now, did you want to see my new toy or not?
Well, you seem quite excited about it, so sure, show me.
I'd like this to be a new pickup line. You want to see my new toy or not?
Oh God!
All I can think of is SU.
That would be very creepy too. Like now, not to say I didn't love your craftsmanship. ship. I liked having a unique sword, but this one's got some magic. And he says he pulls out the I believe the first one I got was the black bladed one, right?
Yeah.
Yep. It's like
Yeah, that is definitely
this-
something special.
I've got a matching pair, but I'm lending it to someone.
Lending a blade like this to someone,
Well, it's
you have gotten very rich very quickly, it seems. Should have paid you less money.
it just bob his eyebrows a little bit. It's like it was a pretty good adventure. I mean, we did this one in particular. It is my favorite. It does like the new one I got is more of a preferably one and done sort of thing, and this one's good throughout the day. We basically ran into a necromancer and decided, yeah, we can't leave this one behind, and rushed in and curb stomped him.
He's not wrong.
You know,
That's how I got this,
No, no,
and I spread my my cloak and be like Spider Monk.
give me 1 second real quick till I look something up. And he says, you should really take some lessons from Gavamar into how to sell the story.
I mean, now that, to sell the story, it's what happened after with the hag.
Ah, this is the prelude.
Yeah, that one
Fancy.
brought a soul back from the dead.
Well,
Well, what were you going on with that?
I'd love to hear more, but I still have a couple of commissions to make, so unless there's more to show.
Look at Ezra. Just like, did you want anything custom made? I know you like weapons about as much as I do.
Yes, but I need to save money because she's like looking around, like need to save money for spell scroll of identify and hut. Can let's go.
Yeah, Thalos, I think I'll have to get you. I'm basically taking an alcoholic into a liquor store. I think we need to.
We're not in a liquor store. I pull
You will
out my
start
glass.
laughing very loudly at that comment.
You're also not an alcoholic yet. You need some more trauma and addictive tendencies for that.
Need more trauma.
She will 1,000-yard stare when he says that.
It's just shoving her out. Just...
Are you just chugging the flask while 1,000 yards staring?
Yes.
Look, I mean, you drink a lot, but you've also built up a tolerance, and I haven't seen you do
True.
anything extremely irresponsible while drunk yet. And I'm
So I'm a
expert on
drunkard,
people-
not an alcoholic. I got it.
I am an expert on people doing irresponsible shit while they're drunk. Okay.
My poor friend Azuri. Adlash.
And with that, I suggest we go on break.
Brake!
My lawyer has advised me to not continue the story.
Always keep a glove with a bat in your trunk.
Also, I think the OBS recording is, or not the sounds of the OBS recordings are going to be fucked up. But I don't use those anyway, so should be good.
In the immortal words of Ralgo, meh.
What?
Meh.
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 Is it really a problem?
I don't know.
So, do we want to go back to Decorm and Co, or do we want to stay with Esray and Fluke and have them do the last of their shopping?
I'm fine either way.
Have them finish up their shopping.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Ooh.
Someone didn't like us doing our shopping then.
I just feel like the shopping will be quick.
Yeah. Hopefully.
So for the low-level spell scrolls, I'm just gonna say for because you were looking for identify and what more?
For honestly, if it was identify, and then I wanted to find a third, if possible, and if within the price range. Originally, I was thinking Lehman's tiny hut, but I do remember that water breathing was something else we might need, and since that it depends on the price of third level spell scrolls. But I know those are in the arcane district.
Yeah. No, but
Yeah,
because
so while we were here, we want to get the price of the low level, and then we were going to have to head to the arcane district.
Yeah, so for the low level, we'll just say that you managed to buy a scroll of Mythic Magic. Make a, well, it would be Fluke probably, make a persuasion check.
Ooh.
For, let's say, 30 gold.
Oh.
Ew.
Wow.
Hey, I'll take that.
Would Fluke also be able to grab spell scrolls while he's here?
Which ones are you looking for?
The ones he's looking to study, he's interested in Find Familiar, Hex,
It's Hex.
Prestidigitation, Mage Hand, and Booming Blade. 5 he wants to study on his off time.
Mage Hand would definitely be possible. Booming Blade, I'm gonna say probably not. Find Familiar would also definitely be possible. Hex also probably not. There was one more, I think.
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation would also definitely be possible.
So he'll at least pick up those 3.
That would be 30 gold for the Find Familiar as well. And with still going by the 27, we'll say 15 gold for the cantrips.
Maybe you can find it in the Arcana district. Those ones that you couldn't find out and about.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Probably.
I'll do the actual gold for the can. 3 platinum for the...
So for the Arcane District, as you enter there, it is literally walled off from the rest of the city, where the other districts kind of often overlap, and there's sometimes a bit of a wall or a checkpoint, as it were. This is one of the few ones that are physically walled off from the rest of the city, as there is a much higher tendency of explosions here.
Mhm.
And you notice that in the middle of the district there is this large tower, which in the middle you see 3 silver stars. No, not silver. bronze stars placed on top above a wall, and I'd say Fluke knows that's where Lord Orton lives. Right. Yeah. And for the rest, there are like various different, like almost all of them are in some way strangely shaped buildings that are almost like in a circle around this tower.
Well, we know who the bigwig is.
I mean, they make it pretty obvious.
Well, let's go in there and see who this person is and see if they can help us.
Certainly.
Asri will try, assuming that they all kind of look like. Does it look like a shop when this door, or does this very clearly look like personal quarters?
The large tower in the middle is from the outside it's difficult to tell, but as you open the door, there is how do you say it? There is on the left side you see a kind of like living area, and you also see a kitchen. On the right side you see an entire library with all kinds of from here you wouldn't be able to tell what kind of books they are. And right in front of you, like a little bit further, you see like kind of a lounging area, but like right in front of you, you see a small box standing on a pedestal with just pick one written on it. And actually, if you look around, you also see a young boy, 14 years old or so, standing in the kitchen cooking. No, actually, he wouldn't be cooking yet. He'd be cleaning right now because it's still early.
I look to Fluke and be like, pick one. Is this? Do you want to see? Do we go in and see how this works out, or do we back off? Because this doesn't look like your normal shop. If this is even a shop, it's not a shop, most likely.
It looks very much like a man decided, I want to build a wizard tower in the city, and then just decided, I'll also open my store in it because, of course, why not?
Making a decision to with that pick one sign, is there anything distinguished below it that you'd be picking from? Is like a deck of cards, or
there is a box with a hole in it, and you'd have to look up to it to see it, but in it there are like basically like calling cards sized cards.
Yeah, I think Asri's gonna put it in her hand and pick one out because she's got that curiosity. She's like, you know what? Let's pick one. And
as you approach it, the boy will look up. Is it? I thought you would be able. Sorry. I thought you'd be coming with more. And you're early. Also, if you pick one of those, do keep in mind they. How do I say it? Have no idea where or when you are. And as you pick one, roll a d8.
oh
Oh,
no!
dear Lord.
He couldn't have said that as I'm grabbing, and I can stop.
Oh, you can stop if you want.
Yeah, I think with the warning of I don't know when or where you'll be.
No,
He's gonna-
that's not what he said. He said the card doesn't know when or where you are. The card is there.
Yeah, I get you. Now, I think Asri would stop and be like, that's ominous. And slowly, like, do the Scooby-Doo walk backwards kind of thing, back up to Fluke, and be like, I don't think I want to pick one of those anymore, Fluke. Not until the others are here.
No, I don't really blame you on that. Not really.
Hello. You said you were expecting us? Kind of a little bit surprising, but not surprising from magic people. Also, you're a lot younger than I was expecting for a shop owner, but hi.
Oh, no, I'm not the shop. I'm Waylon. I'm his apprentice and his butler.
Both.
Lord Orton is at the moment in a meeting.
Oh, we came here looking for a magic shop to buy scrolls. We want.
Oh, no, that's
No,
not here.
Decorm's
That's why
that
you're
we came
early. You're
later
just
with us.
lost. That makes much more
yes.
sense.
We'll be back later, I guess. And she will moonwalk and just out. I don't know if Fluke is coming with, but
Peace.
Go
And
back
he'll-
and forth, just like, have a nice day.
we'll see you a little later.
Bye then.
She will try to find something that looks very clearly like a shop now.
Make an investigation check.
Oh, not a perception? Damn.
Perception is also okay.
Yay! That's the difference of 8.
With a 21, you see a couple of shops. You do notice that among the shops, like often attached to a certain shop, there is also like a version of a laboratory or something like that. And you also realize that on almost all of the laboratories, there is like a noble family's name, as it were. Like it seems to be like a lot of pet projects of various nobles that are being sold
certified.
Yeah. Having seen these insignias on the ones that Decorum's armament and everything, can I look for one that matches that?
here. You can actually, and you'll find Baldamir's golden scrolls.
Oh my god, I look at that and be like, oh my god, that's the name! That's the name that he mentioned earlier, and oh my god, let's go. We found it, Fluke.
That just gets dragged along. He's like, yeah, this is happening.
I almost imagine, like, as she's entering, like, she's gonna look around and do, like, the creep again, or, like, making sure that I enter this isn't actually, like, his home.
As you walk in, the storefront itself is very large and like kind of majestic, but as you like walk in, it's like this very small and cramped odds and ends store almost. And like there's kind of two parts to it. The first half is like that, where kind of just all kinds of random assortments of items are like stacked together and just like placed where there's space. And then a bit further in, there is hundreds of scrolls all laid out and in cases.
Azri's eyes do the, like, this is now a child in a candy shop, like, ooh. Ah.
And as both of you walk in, the both of you are fairly perceptive, so you notice
No!
uh,
Not steal stuff.
like from the other side of the shop, a small figure approaches, and I'd like both of you to make a nature check.
Nature? Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Spiritual weapon is typing.
A spiritual weapon? Why is spiritual weapon?
Do it.
So with a 7 and a 3, Ezra, you have heard of like bird creatures before that well, how do you say it? Like walk and talk like humans as it were. You haven't seen them before or have like known if they were real or not. Fluke, for you, this is literally like the first time you've ever heard or seen any of this. But as you are approached by a kenku, which would be about eye level for you, I think, maybe even a little bigger, who approaches you and says, "What can I get for you?"
Hello, my name is Azri. This is Fluke. We're friends of Decorum, and we were hoping to buy some spell scrolls today, or at least price them so I can save up for them.
I have many spell scrolls. And he starts hopping towards the spell scrolls.
I'm gonna say inside of Fluke's head, have you ever seen a bird person before?
Jake. Just like. At least I haven't, honestly.
Interesting.
They look very dexterous.
They do. He's hopping around. Alrighty. She will out loud, like, kind of just follow him towards it and be like, and start kind of perusing to see if there's any labels or anything, or wait, I guess, till he kind of like starts gesturing to the thing.
Once you reach like the other part of the shop, he'll look at you and says, "Spell?"
Yes, I'm looking preferably for Leomund's tiny hut or water breathing, if you have spell scrolls of either of those.
You see him kind of looking around for a moment, and then he starts like hopping between the what are they called? Not stages, but display things. He starts hopping up, and after a minute or so, comes back with 2 spell scrolls. 1,500.
For the two of them together. Oh. I'm
Price,
going
no
to...
decorum.
The price for Decorm, 1,500. For the 2, if I use their gold, I have enough. Let me make a decision here.
Just like, yeah, we only got 1,300 guys. Sorry.
No, because I've got basically 980 gold, platinum, right?
Yeah.
Or 998 platinum, but 98 platinum. So I'm trying to math. So that'd be, oh god, I need at least 50 more. I may have to apologize to Porcelain.
I mean, you guys are friends.
You 600 gold friends though?
That's
That's
Without
a lot of
telling
gold.
me.
Yeah.
yeah.
You can always come back, right?
Yeah, I will nod and I say, it looks like I'm a little shy for both. I'm going to prioritize. May I grab the whatchamacallit, the one I was coming here for, Lehman's tiny hut.
And he'll hand you the scrolls are all like packaged in this fancy case encasing to protect them from traveling as well.
Gotcha. And is that just for I know? Is that 750 gold basically?
Yeah.
Okay, so 75. What is 98 minus 75? 23. Okay.
As you hand it, thank you. And he'll
Thank you
look
very
at
much.
Fluke as well, actually. Bell?
He'll shrug a bit, just like, well, I'm basically debating on. I don't know if you could tell, I'm not really the magic-y sort, but I'm interested in dipping my toes in, and I've been interested in Booming Blade and Hex. Not sure. I mean, not sure if I'm going to decide on Hex, but study material.
Hex, and he'll jump up again. Both of you actually make a perception check.
Sure.
Oof.
Fluke, you do notice that for Hex, he'll actually have to get a key first and open it somewhere else, and get that out of there, and then basically the spell Hex is much heavier protected than the spells you saw before. Yep. Hex. 50 gold.
Okay, so that's 5.
Does he have another copy of that?
No.
Damn.
Smiled at me like, we can have discussions later.
Yes. That's one of the spells I will magic initiate. I was planning on magic initiating.
Ah, no. Again, discussions later.
Yep.
And the little cantrip one, you happen to have that?
He'll point out the door, and then he'll point slightly to the left, and he'll say, War Mage.
War Mage. Ah, okay. Okay, well, before that, Ezra, about how much were you shy?
A lot more than, because whatever 75 minus 23 is, because brain is bad. 52, 50. Yeah, so 500, a lot more than a little. About over half, 520 gold.
520 gold, so 52 platinum. Leaves me with an even 60. You have a piece of paper?
Myself? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
go ahead and write out an IOU.
I will make an official-looking document as best I can with the forgery kit.
Okay.
and he will give you 52 platinum.
I guess I'm getting water breathing too, boys. And I'm out of platinum.
Money well spent.
Yes.
So I'll hand you the other spell scrolls as well. You notice that also the hex spells also, even in its casing, is still better protecting. He actually hands you a key to open it up with.
Huh, fascinating. Honestly, just nice to have.
He kind of starts staring at you, and if you're kind of waiting too long, he's just gonna go, spell? Again.
Sorry, I was typing.
Are we good, Ezra?
I think I'm good unless you're buying and you might be interested in these. And I pull out the spools of black silk to see, and I want to gauge his reaction to see, because I know they're not magic, but I know they're components, so I don't know if they're rare components or not.
So what were you looking for?
The spools of black silk, they were they're as we
Oh,
have it in
yeah.
her head that they are rare magic components simply because the necromancer had them locked away. I'm like,
He'll look at that and say, Bar Mage.
understood.
Well,
Thank you very much.
I think we know exactly where we're going. Also, you're adorable. He's just gonna tip the nice little bird person 3 gold.
Just for being cute, apparently.
Thank you.
Thank you. I can accept compliments, especially when the compliments come with gold.
Okay,
I
off
suppose
to,
War Mage.
War Mage, yes.
Makes you come off as more genuine, less patronizing.
Even though literally patronized.
Yeah, technically. Not even technically.
Yeah, you're right.
The War Mage is a much more of a shop as you approach it. It's it has like an actual what's called etalage, like storefront. And with a couple of items that it shows off, like a couple of wands and staffs that it has a price on. And as you enter, a human man stands behind the counter, and he greets you. Hello there. Can I help you?
I will let Fluke take care of his business first.
It's like, we're a few of the less magic-y types trying to dip our toes in it, and we're looking for study material. I am very interested in the cantrip Booming Blade, and I would like to see if I could master it on my own time.
Do you have permission to buy magic like that?
I'm a knight, so I'm honestly not sure.
Knight of Ruble?
Knight of the Snoozing Watch. I have connections to Ruble.
Would it help if we were doing this on behalf of Decorm of Ruble?
Wait, actually, now I have to check his family. Crap.
And I was going to say, I, as player, can't remember the name that we were just in his shop, but I would also drop his name.
Sorry, whose name will you also drop?
It started with a B. Let me go check my messages.
Baldomir.
Baldomir. Pretty sure that's the one that Cherry mentioned, isn't it?
Because this guy is from...
Well, in the Commerce District.
Oh, you're right. He did say that for the Commerce District, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's not the same.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, Baldomir II. Yeah, I'd say we're doing this on behalf of Decorum of Rubil and Baldomir II. Not sure if they have the authority to grant that, but...
Well... Either way,
I have been
I imagine you have a sigil to prove you're a knight, or like either way,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
need to have some form of proof.
He would pull out his snoozing watch pin. Just like, yes, I've got some connections with the military now.
All right, make a persuasion check.
Please don't screw me now. Oh yeah, there we go.
I'll take it. That's though and he looks at you and says, "Oh, you're very recognizable. So I will send people to you if it turns out you weren't allowed to do this." And he'll just like turn around and grab a scroll. Also similarly to the previous shop, encased in and like kept safe, and put it on the counter, and that'll be 30 gold.
Fair enough. I will lay down for 3 platinum.
Oh. And he'll scoop that up. Anything else?
I was curious and I'll pull those same spools out to see what these might be worth for components.
Do you have a description of what they are used for?
Necromancy. She'll smile awkwardly.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah,
we sort of
make an
killed
insight
the
check actually as he
necromancer
says
for
that.
Okay.
Because I just rolled for him and he did not roll well when his check for what this is.
Insight. I'm gonna assume he has no idea. Oh, twos are my nat ones. I swear. Every time I see a 2, I'm just like, no.
No.
You believe that is what he figured.
But,
And
yes, we sort of had to kill a necromancer for them. If they can only be used for more nefarious things, I don't know if we'll get much out of them. But some materials are a little more versatile, correct?
would you mind if I take this to one of my wizards for a moment?
Sure.
Uh-oh.
She'll keep a sharp eye on him, but yeah. Come on. If he tries to make a run for it, she's gonna fucking dash after him.
It's his shop.
You're right. I don't know about, and that's why I don't know if he's got a back door or anything. But if he starts running,
He for the moment leaves the things lying on the counter, and he just walks up to a side door that leads into. This is one of the shops that has a laboratory attached to it, and you'll hear him yelling for a bit, and says, "She'll be right here. Anything I can help you with in the meantime?"
I think that was about it, correct?
yeah, that's about all I've got left to do.
Then a couple moments later, a female dragonborn comes down, and she'll. So, what am I here to check out?
Ta-da! And Shazri will not actually say that out loud, but she'll gesture kind of like, I believe these.
Well, listen, I'll be honest with you. This stuff is a bit above my pay grade, and like I'd like to buy it to study it, but that is not worth as much as it would be to someone who would be able to actually use this.
I appreciate your honesty. In that note, then perhaps we should find another area for this. As I look towards Fluke, and now thinking, and saying in his mind, perhaps we should speak to Lord Orton tonight and find out exactly what these are used for before I try selling them.
Good. He'll probably have. It's a good point. As long as they're not treating it like black market contraband, we should be okay.
On that note, I'll scoop them back up and say thank you for your time. Did Fluke already pay?
Yep.
then yeah, she'll start to head towards the door.
Yeah,
See you
she said
again?
like a. Yep. Have a good one.
It's you again.
Like, so yeah, I'm trying to decide because I feel like I can only focus on so much with these scrolls. I definitely want to go with a booming blade.
Definitely don't know what that does, but I assume it's fun.
I'll explain it to you in a bit.
With that, I suggest we go back to the rest of the group. As you have summoned the goblin and Tasha and Zacharina.
Welcome, the three of you. Hephe here has some great news for you.
I clapped for your performances. I was impressed, and because I was impressed, we're choosing you.
And like you see, Zacharina, it's a combination of relief and nervousness. There, you see Tasha kind of like brighten up for a bit, and you see the goblin kind of how do I say it? Doesn't like verbally respond or anything, but he gives you like a nod, and you can clearly tell that he's trying to like come across as confident as he can.
I'm gonna look at the goblin. I'm gonna say, I like the way you look.
Huh.
Beauty I can look at many different ways.
Do you like the way I look?
Give
I
me
imagine
a couple of weeks of prep time, and I can look almost like you look.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
I would be impressed if that was the case, because I don't believe I could see it. That's a challenge.
It is. That makes it fun.
I like your attitude. That's why you're here.
Porcelain.
Cassia, you should be more like that. You hear?
Jasper.
I swear. I'm not even there.
Porcelain. Do you have any illusion magics?
Can't say I do.
Oh.
A bit more combat oriented, you understand?
What's your name? I say to the goblin.
My name is Pant.
Pants?
Pant, singular.
Pant. Great name. Are you perchance you are familiar with Rubel?
I lived here my whole life.
You know of the Fortune Favor?
I do. I have performed there.
Great. Do you know of the Purple Kobold?
Think I've seen him once or
God.
twice.
Okay.
And I definitely know who you're talking about.
That's great. That's great. I know that looking like Hephe is a challenge, but for you, in this first performance, I do not have a part for you yet. But what I want you to do, and I'll grab one of platinum from my bag. Well, I'll grab two. This one is
Okay.
for you, and this one is for you to train and buy all the stuff you need to make me look exactly like him.
You're a lot bigger.
That-
It's easier to
I
look
know.
bigger, but difficult to look smaller.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Just make me look like a bigger version of him.
I can do that.
I completely believe you can. I'm looking forward to this.
He seems to be very excited about this.
Why are we trying to look more like me?
No,
No.
like the purple kobold.
All right, never mind. I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
No worries. And I'll give him. Is there a way I can contact you?
I live here at the top floor.
Great. Ah, that's wonderful. It's amazing to meet you, Plant.
Similar.
Oh.
No. Same.
You perform it often, and I'll give him to the 2 platinum.
He'll take those.
Alright. Do you perform it often?
Not often, but when I do, everybody watches.
I like it. I like it. Well, I know how to contact you, and I'll be with you when I need you.
And with that, he'll hop off his chair, walk away, then come back for his wine, and then walk away again.
Can't forget that. Hephe,
What
what
did
are you doing?
I just imagine the coming back for the door as he realized he forgot.
Those are hard.
Sakarina,
Yes,
and what was your name again? Miss
my name's Tasha.
Tasha. Is there a Mr. Tasha?
No, I have to look up. Why did I close that book, those notes?
And you should also roll to see if she thinks he's flirting.
Tasha los dias.
Sorry?
Tasha los dias.
Huh.
Does that mean there is
We-
no? That would mean there is no Mister at home?
We this performance might be a bit out of the ordinary. Have you
It already
known
is.
of this purple kobold?
Can't say I have.
That's great, because then there's an unlikeliness that he knows of you.
That sounds
We're gonna
right.
do a special performance for him to make him feel excited.
I mean, I'm excited just hearing about this performance.
She is looking a little bit confused right now.
It is in a celebration, of course. He's recently achieved knighthood.
Hmm.
Rolling insight.
What will this performance exactly entail?
I'm glad you asked that. I'm curious myself.
Do you know of the fairy tale called... That's from my slipping my mind.
Rapunzel.
Rapunzel?
I've heard of it.
Great. Sakarina?
Oh yeah, I know it as well. I also
You
know the
will
purple
play-
kobold. I
Does he know you?
don't think so. He stands
do you
out a
know
lot,
him?
and I don't.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not when I want to, or not when I don't want to. Like,
You
you've
will
seen her
play
perform.
the
She can
part-
stand out when she wants to.
You will play the part of the damsel in distress.
All right.
Later tonight, we'll be back at the inn, most likely. And you will look at him and grab his attention for a bit, take him private, and tell about your awful, 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 wicked stepmother. And I'll point to Tasia, who stole your gecko.
I'm just gonna look at
All
Tassia.
right.
I'm just gonna look at Tassia and be like, "What? Why would you steal her gecko?"
It's the play part of it, Hephe. It's the imaginary part.
Oh, I have no idea what Rapunzel was.
It's a fairy.
Have you ever seen a play, Hephe?
I mean, I've seen performances. And I played around before.
Well, this will be a treat. Decorm, will you be needing us further for the script writing?
Well, I think Sakarina and Tasia are quite capable in improvising, making it appear more real.
I mean, I believe in whatever Zacharia does.
Good man.
I'll make sure you get a little box, including this gecko. I'll bring it to you, Tasia. And if everything goes according to plan, our little purple friend will feel enthralled or motivated to find your gecko. Tasia, this is where you come in play. This is your shining role. Make sure you run through the biggest streets, make a bit of a hassle, make it difficult for him. Release the gecko if necessary. The gecko has a trick on its own. And if he catches him, he succeeds. And then Porcelain and my own team will create some special effects to celebrate the occasion.
She at least Tasia looks like a little bit suspicious. Is this a real gecko you're talking about, or a illusion, as it were?
Somewhere halfway between both of those.
The creature will be real, but the creature itself is not a mindless gecko.
All right then, that's
It's smarter than
acceptable.
most people.
It's a familiar.
I hate it too.
Zacharina got that, Tasia did not. Or that it's familiar, I mean. Yeah, that's acceptable then, as long as it's well trained.
Where can I reach you?
This performance is tonight.
Yes.
Well,
got all
we're
day
staying at our
to
estate, of course. So
Sorry?
we live at our estate.
Which estate might that be?
The Lustia estate. It's shouldn't be too far from your own.
Have I ever heard of this family before?
You probably have. I'm gonna check real quick. If I...
Fuck, did I hire the enemies of my family? I probably hired the enemies
No.
of my family.
yeah,
I hired the enemies of your family.
I've heard of Petros Lustia, but there's
Yeah.
not much on him.
But you do know of Lustia that it's one of the three both Decorm and Porcelain know that Lustia is one of the most powerful families in the... there are three noble families in the city that every other noble family kind of has to make an alliance with one of the three to keep afloat, as it were. And Lustia is the family that your uncle has connections with.
Yeah, but not rival. Phew.
No.
That would have been bad. Okay. Ah! That was sorry, I've been out of town for quite some years. Sure, I'll make sure that at the beginning of the evening I'll bring the gecko, including its box, towards you, and then around 8 o'clock I'll see you in the inn. Start the performance. Be the part of the damsel in distress. Be the evil stepmother who chases away from trying to protect his gecko. Release it if necessary. We'll do the rest. And if the performance is satisfactory,
Where will I be with this gecko?
sorry.
Where will I be with this gecko?
Is there anything across the?
Directly across from the inn there are a couple of bakeries. And kind of in the direct area around it, there are a lot of either smaller theaters or
What's the opera
stuff for tourists, as it were.
What's the opera called?
I think I said that. Check real quick. Blah blah blah.
Are there any pet shops nearby?
It is called the Rubles Grand Opera.
Be at the entrance of Rubel's Grand Opera.
All right then. You can see her
Wonderful.
like, kind of like sitting up straight and starting to like, imagining the role, starting to think about it.
Once I see this, I'm saying, yeah, there you go. I'll believe that you can do it. I believe that you can do this all day, any day.
That was Tassia that I was talking about, at least. But
Yep.
okay.
I believe she can play the role of evil stepmom any day.
That's true. That's fair.
But I sound encouraging and nice.
Behind the both of them, because Porcelain's standing in the background, she gives Hephe a thumbs up.
And then I'm gonna look at Zachariah, and I'm say, I think this is a really good performance for you. I think this is gonna let you really get into what do they call it? Character.
Yes.
Porcelain will
Think so?
nod in the back.
I think so. I think I can play this role.
Now, I want you to picture that you're really playing this role, like you are the character. Really believe in it.
You have an evil mother. Believe it.
I believe this role was made specifically for you. Do you understand? I feel like I feel. Did you even know what role you were applying for before you got this role? Is what I'm saying.
Now it's just that street performance, and
it's amazing how this feels like it's really made for you, huh?
Okay, that's enough of that. We'll see you tonight. Thank you very much.
I believe in you, Zachariah.
thank you.
I'm gonna usher Hephe out of the room.
I'll follow along, and since we're done with the auditions, are there any dress rehearsals happening out on the stage?
Sorry, I'm blanking for a moment. What's the question?
Are there any rehearsals or anything going on the stage now that our audition is over?
Not because you use the stage in the inn, so not here. But from that locked door, you can hear some noises coming and people talking.
Well, if we aren't already there, we can't intrude. So, I suppose then I'll take Hephe to the bar, and I'll say, you know, I completely understand what you're attempting to encourage here, Hephe. However, I must forewarn you, I believe you're being a bit too forward with Zacharina.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
Well, her situation is quite difficult, and it's always hard to hear when your parent may not have your best interests at heart. And she'll have to see that on her own, and if you pressure her to see it before she's ready, it could have repercussive consequences.
I mean, I was just asking her questions.
The loaded questions, you understand?
I mean, are they loaded if you don't know what's going on?
Especially so. You start to feel as if though you're incriminating your loved one.
I mean, but you did see her, right?
Oh, yes, I saw her.
I mean, that's not just me, right? That's not okay.
It's not, but it's not a heinous thing.
I mean, she doesn't even want to do what she's doing right now. She's only doing it so that way she can get out, right?
Yes.
I mean, then I think she might understand what's going on. I think it might just help if someone shows her the way, if you will.
Well, opening a door is different than trying to pull her through.
I mean, I did open a door. I even shouted through the door.
I'm just saying less shouting at the poor girl.
I don't ever shouted at the poor girl.
She has a certain charm. That's definitely. I'm glad we chose her, and she has a great future ahead of her.
I mean, did you see that improv? I mean, she just said the thing that the other guy said, like, without only hearing it once. There's no way I could get past that first sentence, and then I just mess it all up.
Mm-hmm. The best thing we could do right now, and I think we all agree that we have our best interest at heart, is go to Lord Orton and, aside from all the favors we're asking, the teleportation, which in itself is already a big deal, ask him if he maybe wants to have an apprentice for the coming 10 months.
Yes,
I think that's the best we could do.
I also wanted to ask you about that Decorum. Are you confident that you'll be able to deliver on that promise?
I'm very confident.
That's good enough for me.
I would like to insight.
Sure. Decorum can roll perception or deception or persuasion.
Decorm is very confident. That's an objective fact.
I mean, about
That's why I said it's good enough for me.
Person says about this endeavor specifically. I know you're always confident.
Damn, didn't want to answer that one.
That was my laptop falling.
Flipping the table.
I threw it on the ground.
I feel a certain kinship with Lord Orton. As I said, he's a noble he is the son of the... Let me quickly check.
Yeah, you're right.
Check my notes.
He's the son of the Count of Rubel. Just like I'm the nephew of one of its district masters. And neither one of us really wants to be in that position. I think, Porcelain, you might understand the sentiment. And I hope that kinship, including his relation with the Viscount, and the gracious act we did for the Viscount, will get us quite far along the way. She is charismatic, she is intelligent. He should be happy to have her as an apprentice.
Person will nod. And... Okay, well then, as always, you've reassured me.
With your confidence.
With your confidence.
I want to thank the both of you for this edition. This already has been, this entire endeavor, even if it goes horribly long and Fluke kills one of the two, is gonna be... it's already been worth a hassle. But nonetheless,
I mean, what was that about killing people?
Little act you did with the Viscount prepared, just to be sure.
Sorry, what was that last part about the Viscount?
Maybe have that little trick you had with the Viscount prepared, just to be sure.
Pranks that lead to murder.
Pranks that lead to murder. Well, I really don't think Sir Fluke would dispose of anyone that wasn't obviously a deadly threat. And let's be frank, Tasia is not a deadly threat.
Why are we getting rid of people?
We're not.
Good.
So, shall we find our companions and be on our merry way?
Certainly, and also, Decorum, I'd like to thank you for this experience. It's been nostalgic.
Guys, I think I learned something today.
And what would that be, Hephe?
I like auditioning.
Well, if
I
you
love it.
return to the Lost Swamp and take on your role as leader, you'll be auditioning every day.
I think I could live with that.
Well, they do say the theater has a place for everyone.
And with that, I imagine you all reconvene.
Yeah, and Azrael will immediately say, "Hi, so Lord Orton has a man-person butler thing that's kind of cooking for him, and we might have actually gone into his house."
I mean, did you knock before you went in?
Hephe, I thought it was a shop, so no.
That might have been a mistake.
Well,
Do-
was
I mean-
Lord Orton there, or was it just his hired hand?
Lord Orton was a
Teenager.
meeting? Yes, it was just a teenager. I kind of backed up out of
Oh,
there
you're
because...
very lucky then. No offense can be made.
I really doubt he cared. He seemed nice enough.
I don't
Tossed him a
know.
gold, but
Should we go see him now that he's hopefully out of a meeting, or...?
Have you been scheduled to call?
I'm looking at Decorm because he knows him.
I knock on the door.
We're not even
We're
there.
not even there yet.
You're still at the inn.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think we should go. Yeah, I want to get going.
Well,
Do we have to make an appointment? I asked Decorum.
it would be most likely. It's a bit of a difficult thing, as this Lord Orton is specialized in divination magic, so it's hard to tell. I remember the story of my uncle that he got offended because we made an appointment because it implied that we weren't aware of his skills. Because he already knew we were coming. Which was confusing, and it still is.
Oh, then it sounds like we may as well just come along then.
Yeah, if you've already had an incident where he got upset that you made an appointment, sounds like we should not make an appointment. I was told I was early.
That, if possible, I would first like to just pass by my uncle, as much as I hate to do it, to make sure that Lord Orton wants to talk to him.
I mean,
I
Viscount said that he
agree
wanted to talk to us, right? So I mean, doesn't he want to talk to us?
Well, that's, I think, at right now 2 weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago. Maybe even a
Yeah.
bit more.
And if he's the super smart wizard guy, then he would know that it would take that long to get here, right?
Fair point. We're off to see the wizard.
Is he the wonderful wizard of Rubel?
He certainly is.
He's
Hooray!
We're off to see the wizard. The wonderful wizard
I
of
asked
Rubel.
in her head, Porcelain, is this somebody we should drop in on?
Well, I'll be honest, he's always been known to be eccentric, but other than that, I don't know too much about the man.
Eccentric sounds like Decorum's specialty, so let's go. Let's go.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm wondering for a moment what time it would be right now. Just started auditions at 11. That would have taken most of your day, I think. So it would be, I think, around 6 right now.
Ooh,
dinner time sounds fair enough.
just hurry.
Well, we have an appointment for 8 o'clock at the inn.
Well, let's pitter patter. Let's get at her.
Let's go.
Right.
So as you make it to the tower again, as you come in again, the boy that Fluke and Ashley saw before, where he was first quite finely dressed in not really nobleman's clothes, but something similar to it. He's now just in very simple, very raggedy clothes as well, and he is now also not in the living space anymore, but he's now in the library, and he's completely focused on a book that he's reading. And he doesn't even acknowledge you when you get in.
She'll wave towards like him, realize that he's not there, and say, "Am I early again, or am I late this time?"
I mean, didn't we knock before we came in? I mean, this
No,
is
the
their
meeting
house,
is taking
right?
too long. Yeah, I don't know who he's having a meeting with, but they're making a problem of something that's... I don't know. I'm not at the meeting. I don't know what's happening. And he starts
Well-
focusing on his book again.
Do you think Lord Orton enjoys this meeting?
I would much rather a rescue.
he would not be at the meeting if he didn't need to be. He is quite the expert at dodging meetings.
Okay. And Asri's curiosity is going to peak again as she looks towards that box and say, Hephe, it says pick one. You should pick one.
Alright, I pick one.
Okay, roll a d8.
Let's get Mikey to do it.
Okay.
Oh, poor sweet Hephe.
On the note, on the card that you pull out, it says you'll be attacked by flaming skulls.
It says that I'm gonna be attacked by flaming skulls.
They're predictions! And she puts her hand in to grab one.
Roll a d8.
Oh boy, can I get over to the correct thing?
I mean, maybe out of order.
Maybe 2 weeks late.
It says, underneath there lives a mad dragon that could destroy the city at any time, but it's asleep for now.
Sound
Awesome.
like misfortunes.
Well, okay, he said, the boy over there mentioned earlier that they don't know when or where you are, so these predictions could be years in the future. And now I'm kind of curious if which city has a dragon underneath it, because I don't know if it's Rebel. What
Look,
it would
he's
make.
curious enough to take one now.
I
Roll
need
a
a
d8.
gun. Okay.
I think it says pick one, don't pick more than one, Hephe.
It says Willard Malo is actually still alive and working on a stupid project.
Who now?
Willin Malo. And anyone who wants to can make a history check on that name.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hoping I get a good roll. Nope.
I wonder if this is like
Oh my
Amelia
God.
Earhart or something.
How
No.
did Hephe even hear about this?
I travel the lands. Fuck off.
Decorm is the only one who knows,
Oh.
as the DC was 20.
But
Ooh.
But now.
Negative.
And
negative
For Hephe,
2.
and for Hephe it would have been heavier, as it's not a story that's known in the Lost Swamps.
but
Wait.
Willin Malo was a gnomish wizard who lived about 400 years ago, somewhere in the east, and had some form of... you don't remember all the details, but he had some form of idea of awakening a titan and getting it under his control.
Sorry, a what?
A titan. It's the stories you've read are very vague about it, but some form of ancient creature that has been asleep for 1,000 years, as it were. Those type of stories are it, is it?
Soliloquy?
And,
Well,
I mean,
that's gonna be fun.
doesn't seem like it doesn't sound that surprising. I mean, gnomes are decently long-lived, and that's just for people who aren't magically inclined and go out of their way to live longer. So that
What?
doesn't seem...
What does Hephe know? You said he knows something different from the Lost Swamp.
Oh, I said that the story isn't known in the Lost Swamp.
Oh, my bad. I misheard.
So,
Now-
anything more you want to do?
Anyone else picking up Fortune of the Future? Fortune. Porcelain. I'm gonna start poking your knee. You know you want to grab one.
I really don't actually. I prefer to keep the future a mystery.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I did not want to know that I'm gonna be attacked by flame skulls.
Well, he mentioned earlier it doesn't know when or where we are.
I know that's what makes it
And-
even worse.
Look,
like,
look, Hephe, just assume it's the flame skulls we've already fought, and you'll feel better about things.
It said 3. Have we fought 3 at once?
It didn't say, didn't give a number.
I thought it did.
I'm gonna look at the guy. Could it have already happened?
Yes, we have had and he quote unquote like predictions of like famous events that happened hundreds of years ago.
Oh.
All right. Well, then these aren't really mean anything. Thank you.
I don't know. I liked it. Hey, I'm keeping mine.
I put
Speaking
mine
of
back
which,
in the
does that
box.
mean that the sleeping dragon thing might also be old news?
Can
could
we
be.
history check to see if we know anything about a sleeping dragon that woke up?
Well, I know there's like a city underneath here that Rugal was built on top of.
If you want, you can make a history check.
That'll do good, but I still want to roll. Yeah, about right.
I'm not even rolling.
Yeah, you don't know much about cities. With
Or
a
dragons.
15,
Or dungeons.
you think about it. You haven't heard anything like in stories or whatever, or especially not anything recently. And you also have like never really like delved into it. With a 24, you're not sure if it fully like fulfills the prediction, but you do know that on the eastern continent there are a group of cities which are all protected by a sleeping dragon. And you do know that long ago, one of those cities got completely destroyed when one of the dragons went on a rampage. And actually, with the 24, you also know that this wasn't a chromatic or metallic dragon, but a gemstone dragon.
Luke will also just kind of nod him, how just like, to be fair, that prediction, especially, he also said where, so may not be a city on our continent.
Certainly fair to debate. However, are we staying or leaving, given that...
Where? Boy, where is Lord Orton's meeting right now?
And he points up, and like now that you look at it, and I think all of you know enough about magic to be fairly sure this is some magical trick, but suddenly you see this like large spiral stairs going upward at the back of the room.
I'm gonna
And
walk
he just
up.
points up those.
Why is it always stairs? Why can't it just be planes? Why
There's
is
also
it
a lift.
always stairs?
There's that. You can also, if you stand in the middle, you'll be lifted up.
I like that one better. Where do I
This one
stand?
is walking up.
So, basically the way it looks is at the end of the chamber there are two sets of stairs that's spiraling upwards, and in the middle there's this stone like contraption where in the middle there is a platform for you to stand on.
I stand on that.
And for a moment you think nothing happens, and then suddenly you start very slowly rising.
Whee!
Decorm, you get up the stairs much quicker than like the moment you get fully up the stairs, it's quite high. You see that Hephe is like barely halfway.
Whee!
Bless his soul.
Should we have followed them?
Azri was following Decorum.
Oh, well, you know.
Sorry.
Well, you can
Luke's-
say that to Fluke. He's just like, well, I mean, Decorum is helpful for having someone important to make the scene, so we don't have to take the blame, so hey. Speaking of which, you're still Jasper, right?
Yes.
Just in case it comes up.
Too bad Decorum isn't there because he forgot.
Again.
I mean, it's pretty obvious. I'm wearing the getup.
Yeah, like I even asked in chat earlier, porcelain or Jasper, when he called you porcelain out loud, and I was like, "Is it porcelain or Jasper?" And no one responded. I'm like, guys, which one?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't know, Fluke, because you weren't there. You were with me.
I'm gonna say
Yes.
that definitely while we were staying in that theater, I haven't come out of makeup. I have not said my name. I've not signed the in book with porcelain.
I do love how this distracted shopping trip does play into feet training, so that does work out really perfectly. He would not suspect a thing.
So, after a bit, the three of you are upstairs. In front of you is a large wooden door. Like a double set of doors, this were.
I open it.
It is locked.
I knock.
You don't get a response.
Knock louder.
God.
Still no response.
I say, perhaps we should come back to Decorm.
Hephe, do the thing.
No.
No.
Am I there yet?
Hefe's writing.
Yeah, you're there.
Writing the list.
Like, they've been waiting on
is
you.
the thing is the thing where I get real loud?
Wait, maybe
Yeah.
we shouldn't do that in this
I
house
do the thing.
to the person who's trying to teleport you.
I'm just saying, Decorum is family, and families tell me to do a thing, so who am I to
Decorum
listen to?
is not related to Lord Orton.
He is Lord Orton is the friend to a family member of his and to the Viscount.
I don't know, Decorum's acting like he's in charge right now.
That's what he does.
And that's why we're telling you not. Hold on. Decorum, are you? You know what? I'm gonna lose this argument. And she just backs up and like, she just backs up, gives him like 10 feet.
All I ever wanted.
Oh.
I'm gonna lose this argument anyway.
I'm
So.
gonna look at Decorum. I'm gonna say, now, do you think that they just didn't hear of a knock, or do you think they're ignoring a knock?
Does it matter?
I mean, if they're yes. Yes, it does.
They didn't hear the knock.
Can I insight that?
Luke's just leaning against the wall, just like, don't pay attention to me right now. I don't want to be part of this.
Yeah. In fact, can I who's kind of imagine like Azri and Fluke trying to like hide in the corner, like, oh boy.
You're just hiding behind porcelain who wishes she could hide behind you.
Quickly, Fluke, on my shoulders. We'll hide behind porcelain.
So, Cherry, what does he see with a 17 insight? Yeah. Not much, apparently.
Okay, then I'm going to use thaumaturgy to create an instantaneous sound that originates from a point of your choice within range, and I'm gonna have it be the sound of a knock. I'm gonna do it a couple
Can you
of
post
times.
in the chat real quick?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Boop. You
never
create an
gonna-
instantaneous sound that originates from a point of your choice within range, such as a rumble of thunder, the cry of a raven, or ominous whispers. So I'm gonna basically, and I'm also, it says that you can cause harmless
Do you need to
tremors
be
in
able
the
to
ground
see
for
the
1 minute.
location?
I'm doing it on the door.
Okay.
So I'm causing both tremors and knocking at the door.
Make a
you
wisdom check, Hephe.
you see porcelain wince with every sound.
Yeah, Azri is like more and more face behind her hand.
Looks like
Oh.
just whispering to just
Both Hephe and Decorm make a strength saving throw.
Oh, lovely. Goofy yell.
Oh, +3 because of aura protection. That's still natural 1, but +3.
Yeah, what are you gonna do with that nat one, man? Nothing they could do with that nat one.
Does that also become a 17 then, Cherry?
No, I already included this.
Okay. So the both of you get flinked. So as Hef is casting the spell, for a moment it seems to work, and then suddenly the magic, as it were, seems to be absorbed into the door, and then just blasting out right in front of your face, and the two of you get knocked over and fall pretty far.
Fuck.
Oh god.
Oh.
Oh, so they
So-
don't go flying back, they go flying off the edge.
Yeah.
Okay.
The two of you both take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall onto the ground.
Ow.
Fuck.
I knew that wasn't a good idea.
Uh,
I did not see that coming.
I pat her on the shoulder and say, "It's how they learn. It's how they learn."
I just was afraid they were going to ask me to try and lockpick it. I'm just sitting here the whole time thinking, don't remember I have thieves' tools. Don't remember I have thieves' tools.
I would like to say for the first time this campaign, I'm going to use my channel divinity and heal both with Decorm and I.
This is what you used.
Ow!
I think he knew that. I think Lord Orton knows that we're here, and I don't think he wants to be disturbed. Can we just go back to the inn and watch the performance?
As we're all hurrying down the stairs.
I mean, you're
Fine.
hurrying.
I thought most of you were at this point waiting downstairs.
Oh, I thought we climbed the stairs.
Oh, it doesn't matter much.
Listen, I'm just glad you said that they flew off the edge because I was about to impose a dexterity saving throw for the horseman being flung at Asri. So I'm like, oh, they fly off the edge? Okay, that's so much better than flying at her. Because she was about to be like, dear Lord, I gave you 10 feet and you still made it a me problem.
Can we just go back and watch the show? Can we do that instead, please?
I'm gonna visit my uncle.
I mean, do we have time to do that? I mean, we gotta be back to the inn by 8.
As you guys start
Paying for
leaving,
them. They'll wait.
the doors slam open, and a dwarfish man walks out with a staff in his hand. He is, even for a dwarf, not very tall, has long gray hairs, I should say, and just as long gray beard. As he looks downstairs, that was a lot more noise than I was expecting.
You and me both.
I mean, I am good at making noises.
You had to
Yes.
wait for 10 minutes.
We don't know that.
Not even.
I mean, nobody told us how long we had to wait.
But you didn't wait for 10 minutes, I believe.
I mean, nobody told
We
us
are
how
in
long we had to
charge of
wait.
our own fate.
That's fair, I guess. As he starts walking downstairs. So, you are the handsome knights that have saved my friend.
I mean, I'm not a knight, and
neither.
but I did save your friend.
And I am handsome.
We are definitely people who have helped the Viscount. That much is true.
And he kind of looks over all of you and he looks at Decorm. I believe you sent those letters.
Did you give a ones that said disregard?
I did.
Did it actually just say disregard?
Let me check, because Cherry sent me all those letters. In essence, yes. A bit more explanation was added.
Good.
So, what brings you here?
I want to be teleported back home.
Sure.
That easy, sure.
Where's your home?
My home's a lost swamp. Specifically, with full of
Just-
health inside there.
I was about to ask. That should be doable.
Huh.
He starts looking over all of you. Is that all?
I mean, yeah. Also,
Question.
fight fire spirits,
Fire spirits.
or stop the fire spirits from doing the fire thing on this
That's
plane.
my father's doing. Or he is doing that, I should say.
Oh, your father's doing that. Fantastic.
Oh, also, there's this girl named Zacharina. She's a real nice lady, but her mom's not so nice. Could you take her
Yeah,
in
that's the
underneath your
one.
wing or something?
That's the one. Like he knew.
I think I can. Can you bring her here? I have some nice tea for us.
I mean, yes, I can. I go ahead and I cast sending.
Oh.
After
But
everything.
perhaps after the performance?
Hey, Zacharina.
It's
the
Hephe!
Performance hook has been moved to Lord Orton's power.
No! Is he saying
Please
this out loud?
come here now.
I think it's in
Thank you.
mind.
Does he say that out loud, or is that in his head?
I don't think you have to say it out loud, do you?
I said it
I'm
anyway.
asking DM.
Oh, well, if he says it anyway, you can hear him say it.
Okay, as he's saying that, is any sort of performance ever supposed to go on in the Lord's house? Hold on.
I'm gonna take a quick break.
Was that Beth or porcelain?
That's what I was thinking.
That's definitely
it's-
baffle.
Yeah, I imagine.
Are you needing me to pause the screen so you can walk by camera? Well, she's not responding, so I don't think so. Yeah, while he's doing that, Asri's just gonna facepalm.
Hephe, what are you doing?
I'm sorry. I was just letting Zacharina come here because Lord Orton wanted to meet her.
Yeah, we'll do that tomorrow.
I already sent the message.
Send another.
I mean, why?
Because the performance you're wanting to
Come with me
have
outside.
is not.
Come with me outside.
All right. I come
Lord.
with him outside.
While they have that conversation,
Give me 1 second while I send Ralgo the response.
okay.
Confused, just like,
Oh, all right. Well, she wants to know if her mother should stay at the opera or if her mother should come along too.
Both of them. Luke can't know of this. Luke can't see her. Well, the both of them need to stay there, and we'll do this tomorrow. Okay?
I mean, I thought we were doing it tonight at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. At 8 o'clock we have the performance at the inn. Tomorrow we'll go to the fireplace or wherever the fuck you want to go.
I mean, why can't we go?
And
Why
we'll
can't
bring
we?
her here.
Why can't we just go tonight? After the performance, then it's all done.
Oh, fine with me.
All right. So should I tell her to bring her mom along?
Nope. They need to stay there.
This is just so beautiful.
I'm glad I'm back for this chain wreck.
All right. So I need to tell her like, never mind. Stay. Disregard. Stay there. We're on our way.
Said disregard.
Listen. If I just said disregard, she's gonna ask additional questions, and I'm gonna have to answer it. All right. I mean, I could just say disregard. All right. I'll send disregard. Fine.
Disregard. This thing's starting to go into a
I'm
lot
sorry to
of
call.
work.
I got excited. We wanted to teleport. I wanted to do the performance. Why does it have to be at the inn? Why can't it be here?
And Fluke will know that she's part of us.
Did you ever actually tell him that this was a secret for... Oh, no, he was there while we were telling them what the whole thing was, so...
Yeah.
but did he understand?
Obviously
Apparently
not.
I will send another message.
I love watching Hephe and Decorm yell at each other.
Disregard.
As we're all
Stick
standing...
to original. stick to first plan.
Question while they're out there doing this, we're all standing inside awkwardly. Is there anything going on, or is Lord Orton just kind of staring at us?
to say something, but we'll do this thing first.
Do this thing first. One train wreck at a time.
And then we'll come back in whenever we
After the last one, you will get a message back. Okay, then.
Okay.
Okay, so while they are outside, Ezra, what exactly do you ask him?
Yeah,
Please write it down.
Yeah, I was going to basically just see if, because it was just for feat trainings, if he had any old spell books or any like, old tomes that like, I guess for that his apprentice would probably be reading as well, or I've already finished that she could borrow overnight, to basically read and study.
Not unless you want to become an apprentice.
Those are my secrets. Thank you.
Fair enough. Worth a shot.
That's fair.
Is there anything else from anybody? Because now that they've come back in,
So-
they're like,
What was exactly? Wait, it's. I am a little bit miffed though. What were the two of them talking about? A performance at my tower?
Oh, I mean that's been moved back to original plan. I got excited.
You're not in there yet.
I'm not in there yet. Never mind.
they have a performance going on at an inn, and apparently Hephe, I'm assuming, thought that since we were here, he could just ask the performers to come here, and that's why I was like, I don't think that's how that works, not in a lord's house, and I think that Decorm is explaining to him that that's not how that works. I'll admit, I don't quite know what this performance is.
You're new here, of course. Well, new. You haven't been here for a while.
No. First day.
So, the meeting I was just in is about a serial, not really killer, but
Trier.
people, especially people who visit operas and theaters a lot, tend to suddenly disappear, and then a couple days later they reappear with an arm missing or a leg missing.
God damn it.
So good luck with that. I am on the investigation, but up till now they've been doing a very good job on avoiding me.
That
Has there
sounds
been...
like some necromancy shit that needs to be done with a dagger to
That
someone's
is
head.
definitely necromancy.
When you say that, she pulls out the two spools. I have a question. Do you know what these two things would be used for? I definitely don't think it's negative energy flood.
He takes a look at it. Where did you get this? He has a very concerned look on his face when he sees that.
Flip will just
Necromancer.
repeat what he just said. Just some necromancy shit that needed to be stopped with a dagger to the head. That's
Which we
exact-
did. That's actually where I got this, and
Okay.
she's gonna gesture to her spider cloak and be like, "Hi, Spider Monk."
Now, watch me make a prediction without any magic.
Oh no.
The necromancer had a set of bodies that he could control at his will.
She just kind of does the glazed over her eyes. How much
He's gonna
trouble are
just
we
tap
in?
the front of his muzzle, just like, yeah.
Yup. What was his name? We had it, as we will say, Arandan, yes.
Well, I don't know the person itself, but these type of strings, they are used to make a very particular type of homunculus, as it were. Some people also refer them as meat puppets. They aren't very nice people.
You would
Um,
be typed and refer to them as meat puppets.
But to give you the overview of it, these threads can be used to attach to souls, and then used to sever those souls into a lot of small fractions, and then to attach those fractions to bodies and use those bodies as you see fit.
I could make a million of me? I'm joking, of course. She's now got to decide whether or not she wants to try and sell them or dispose of them.
Well, there was the one OOC. There was the one lady who wanted to buy them to study them. It depends on how much you trust that.
Yes. I have a question. Do you know anyone in town that'd be interested in buying them?
He looks at you and he says, well, of course, me, a law-abiding citizen, hasn't heard any of that. But one might know of certain markets where these types of things get sold and traded for large sums of money.
Oh, hello. You're back.
Yeah, I'd say at this point, the rest of you return.
I will look towards Fluke and in his head ask, you know where the black markets are, right?
You asked that out loud or in my head?
I did say in your head.
Okay. Like, I have some ideas. I definitely want to stop by one with porcelain to perhaps pick up a more draconic disguise kit.
All right.
At the black market?
I mean, that or one of the theater places. Black market seems like it'd be the place that would have those.
The theater place is also a safe bet.
What are the other?
Lord Orton,
Yes.
returning back to your previous statement on this serial assaulter, were there any other patterns with the victims besides being thespian lovers?
Usually rich. Well, that kind of fits the thing, but attacks seem to be spaced out for the time after they return. They are very happy about the great. You see, as you said, and he points vaguely in both Esray and Fluke's direction. As you said, this is likely some form of necromantic ritual, but I also think this just could be someone who is, well, absolutely batshit insane. When the people return who have their limbs missing, at least for a couple of days, they'll usually be very glad about their donation to the arts. And then a couple days later, the spell will end, they'll regain their memories, and from that we have been able to learn all the details about the person, namely that he is probably male, probably humanoid. And as he says that, you can see like a kind of spite in his words.
If I may ask, the disembodied arms and legs that are coming out there, has there been any luck in trying to divine their locations?
Nope.
Probably the first thing you checked, I realize.
Second one.
Second.
All the victims.
As I said, a lot of the people who disappeared were important people, so for a couple of weeks I just had persons walking in here immediately, like demanding to find the people. Because they're all very important.
Are the victims all of the same race?
No. Most of them are Dragonborn.
What time is it at this point, if I may ask, if Ezri was to try to hazard a guess?
It's would be around 7.
And how long does it take to get back to the inn?
Say 20 to 30 minutes.
We got time.
Oh, fuck! Ezra!
Yes.
Where's Lord Junkers?
Points on top of her head. Maul.
Can you come outside with me for a minute?
I think I can spare a few minutes. Thank you, Lord Orton, for answering our questions. I greatly appreciate it. And then we'll go outside with Decorm.
I did have
As
one
we're
more
going
question
outside.
when we get back.
Did that man wear anything interesting? What does he look like?
Possibly male, possibly human. Or
Donald
humanoid.
Legat. Pissed about that for obvious reasons.
What did you need, good sir? Is it
It's
time?
time for Donkers to turn into a gecko.
Yes, go ahead and tell them that I'm going to make my way back to the inn. That way I can go and get the casting going. And
Right.
Asri will head back towards the inn. That way she can get there first and ritual cast and all that.
Okay. And what was the question Porcelain was going to ask?
Yes. When was the last attack?
It's a bit more... Well, no, it's not more difficult, actually. That was what I was just having a meeting of. Our last attack was 2 nights ago. When... And I have to look up her name real quick. Iris Quarren disappeared. The thing is... She... when I started looking for her, I could find her. And when I found her, she was just kind of doing her own thing. She didn't seem in distress, nothing suspicious really, except that, you know, she had abandoned the city and was on a boat somewhere. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. But I honestly, up till now, I haven't been able to scry on any of the victims, so I don't think she is connected. But of course, her family doesn't believe that, so yeah, start yelling about that.
Why wouldn't they, right?
So then she wasn't attacked.
Don't let the Quarren family hear you say that.
Surely. However, when was the last real attack?
Probably 2 weeks ago.
So then would you say that another one is imminent?
Yes, that's also the problem. We have the entire sea district, basically, that people could be disappearing and we would never know. It's really only from the quartz and clay that people have at least the ability to let authorities know when something is in trouble. But anyway, this is my headache. I appreciate the help, but a friendly warning before you start yelling to people about how big a fan of the art you are.
Certainly appreciate the forewarning. Hoping to spread it
perhaps an invitation, depending on how we're feeling inclined.
I mean, if you want to help, that's appreciated, of course, but for the moment I really don't have a lot to get off of.
Of course.
We were at least decently capable.
Well, we'll be waiting on our companions to return, but other than that, did anyone else have any other business with the Lord?
I had a question.
Of course.
When did you see you teleporting me to the Lost Swamp?
I didn't. You just asked me if I could, and I said yeah again.
I mean, but you said that you also knew I was going to ask something else. And you also said that if we just waited 10 minutes, then we should have known that. So I just thought, everybody's saying how you know things and stuff, and like, don't make appointments. So I just figured you knew when you were going to do the thing, you know?
Well, the 10 minutes was just... my appointment went on a bit longer than I expected. I had hoped you'd just have a bit of fun with the points at the box, or maybe would have looked through the library, but you had to start banging on the door.
All right.
One of your distractions worked for a moment.
I
if
mean,
it means anything.
I like distractions.
I like distractions.
Do I need to make an appointment for the teleport?
When do you want to wish to teleport? I can tell you right now, by the way, today's not gonna work. I've used most of my magic for the day.
How about like first thing tomorrow morning?
Sure.
You didn't want to go tomorrow.
I assume he walks back in at that point to say that.
Oh wait, I was gone.
Yeah, why not? Why not
Alright.
walk in at that
Yeah,
point?
at this point you can walk back in.
What'd you say?
Like you didn't have a very long conversation with Ezra, I think.
So what did you say, Cherry?
No, never mind.
So you didn't say anything then?
No, I'm sleepy.
Okay.
Did no one else have any business here in Rootwell before we leave first thing?
Well, I still need to visit my uncle. That's why I came here.
And how about sometime tomorrow, Lord Orton, but maybe not the first thing in the morning, like after we talk to the uncle and some other things.
Sure, I'll see you drop in.
All right. Thank you, Lord Orton.
Did your uncle do brunch?
My pleasure. Now, if you don't mind, I have dinner to eat. And he'll walk to the kitchen.
Such a normal man.
I've forgotten what that's like, honestly.
What, being normal?
Honestly, I don't know if I ever knew what it was in the first place.
Okay, Edgelord.
No, he's not nearly as edgelord as Thornton Here's a Who.
Now that kid was emo. Not an edgelord.
The Reaper has
Yeah,
come.
Very much both.
Let's get off that train though and hop on to the back at the end. And I'm gonna ask, is this where we want to end it for the night to have the prank thing performance moduop be what we start next session with?
That is what I was going to suggest.
I just saw the time and I realized how late it was for you guys.
Yeah. Unless Cherry really wants to do it right now.
No, I want to sleep.
No.
No, I want to sleep.
Well,
Then I suggest we end it here.
I also think I should make note for next session. I think Fluke would probably want to stop by the Fate's Fortune and perhaps drop off some of his souvenirs.
Oh, we also need to go by a jeweler and buy diamonds.
I have no money left for
Right.
that.
You have
That's
negative,
okay.
right?
You have a friend who has money.
I have 2,800 gold technically that is from that belong to 2 other people, and I have 47 gold I think separate from all the platinum I spent today.
Oh, yes. How do we split that up, by the way, since it was given to you as a lump sum?
I was gonna give Decorm 1425 and you 1375 on the gold, just simply because
He gave more things.
Well, that and like the stuff he gave rounded to about 90 gold, so cut in half would be about 45ish. So I just rounded it up to 50 to make it even to cut.
All right. So what was that number one more time?
Yours is 1375 on gold. And then Decorum's would be 1425. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream. Bye, everybody.
Bye, stream.
Bye.